All right, let's test the microphones now that we have time to do such a thing. Testing from Tom. Testing from Brian.
Testing from Brian.
Ooh.
Testing from Brian. That's testing. I hear it.
Note to self, talk closer to microphone.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm watching the view count on YouTube, and it doesn't show the other channels, but it does show people coming and going. It went up to like 10, then 1, then 10, then 4, then 2, then 1, then 3, then no, it's just stuck at 2.
Man, you're still using Gemini.
Not all the time. I use GPT most of the time.
I like to throw the same prompt into all of them to get the differences. And I think I'm landing on just using Grok.
Really?
Yeah. Not that he like tells me what I want to hear, it or tries to like curate to my worldview. It seems to give me the best answer without a lot of the crap. So far. That might change, who knows.
I think I just broke Gemini. I'm trying to give an answer for everybody that's tuning in. And
It'll think.
So, I've noticed that with it's been in particular Gemini and Google, that it stalls out sometimes. Like you'll come back to it and it just doesn't respond. I've never had that problem with GPT. Yep. GPT, I usually run into the conversation limit.
Right. That's the problem with that, is becoming more of a paid subscription type thing.
Well, we pay for it. It's just, it can only talk for so long before it fails. Yeah, here you go. Something was wrong and the AI response wasn't generated. Wonderful.
That usually means too many people are using it.
Or they didn't pay their power bill.
That too. We don't pay for Chat GPT other than like Copilot.
That's true. We don't. We probably should. So what does it think? It thinks... Oh, that's interesting how to show this with everybody here. Good afternoon, everybody on all the social media platforms. I was going to say YouTube, but it's everybody now. You guys are from all over the place, not just one place. Happy Friday.
Welcome our friends from YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, X. Actually, Twitch is still not really working, so we still need to fix that.
It's Brian's fault. It's IT guy, he should have it fixed by now.
Yep, because I'm the one who set it up and got it all configured and did all the things.
Hey man, I just manage. I don't actually do work. I'm responsible for things. I like to just sit here and say I'm responsible and delegate authority to other people. Which
that kind of is your job.
Yeah, I also avoid authority too, so that's great.
I am the authority.
So we brought back our 10-minute countdown. The reason why we took it away originally was YouTube was telling us that people were clicking out right away when they saw the countdown. And I thought, well, okay, I could see that. But then I realized that most people don't tune in right away. We tell people we're streaming at this time. We don't give a definitive, like it's going to be at this time every Friday exactly at that time. Stuff comes up. I run a company and things go on within the company. So I have to take care of those things. But it's generally Fridays between like 1, noon or 2 o'clock. Somewhere in that range is typically when we stream. So when we did the countdown, it was telling us people clicked off. So we went down to 10 seconds. We found out that people weren't catching the stream fast enough. So we weren't getting a lot of the people in the chat right away. So now we brought it back. If you don't like that, just tell us. And
also in the chat comments. And I'm with you. I didn't see any real difference with a 1 minute timer versus a 10-minute, because most of our people come later.
They do. They do. So this week, last week, we were talking all month that we're going to look at automotive stocks, and it just hasn't happened. we're thinking, all right, this is the week. This is going to be the week, and it's not actually what we're covering today, even today.
If you want to go to the automotive for just 1 second, I found an interesting thing. Ford is contemplating for their Mach-E, not a Mustang.
Do you got a link?
Don't call it a Mustang. Don't call it a comeback. No.
What do you got?
They're contemplating using the frunk, the front where the engine should be, as a trunk, as a subscription model. So you would have to, as you're purchasing it online or at the dealership, where it has the exterior accessories that you could purchase for it, you have to actually purchase access to the frunk as an option. Otherwise, they lock it and seal it.
You're not serious.
I am serious that they're considering. I hope they don't do it because that's a stupid thing.
A
Just a money
subscription?
grab. A subscription. You have to buy it.
You have to
Access to your trunk.
in your car.
Yeah.
Like this is something you park inside your garage on your property in your own house.
This is my car. I should have access to my frunk. And the reason is that it's got the hatchback, right? The model Mach-E is a hatchback model, and most people use that as storage. And not a lot of people are using the frunk. And they decided to monetize the thing. So whether they actually do it or not, I don't know. But that was one of the ideas that came out of Ford.
You're gonna see me one day driving a 1956 Chevy Corvette. No digital anything. There's no way they could stop it. Like,
Yeah.
what do they do if somebody just says, "Oh, I'll grab a grinder and just like cut off the latch"?
You just void your warranty.
But it's my frunk. It's
It's
my
mine.
car.
Yeah.
That's
I would
crazy.
I would just unplug it. There's wires, right? That's how they control it. Just unplug it.
That's crazy though. You gotta believe that if a company is that, no offense to Ford, but that seems like a desperation measure. Like, hey, we can't figure out how to like make good vehicles, so outside of our F-150, that's the best seller. So let's just like monetize everything. It's kind of like whenever you buy a car that's got XM radio in it, if you go past the extended warranty or the extended service on it, they just call you like you could be in the bathroom and some sales guy will be peeking through the window. Your satellite radio can make this a better experience. It's like, get out of, what are you doing there? Like, get out of there. Like,
We
what
will
is
give you
this?
3 months free if you sign up now. No. Though their Mustangs is a good seller too.
I
Mustang
like their
models.
5-liter Mustang. I did like that. I do not like their electric version of the Mustang. I do not like that.
That's not an actual Mustang, man. The Mach-E is not a Mustang. They call it a Mustang. It is not.
I agree with that.
I will die on that hill.
I agree with that. I don't know that I drive BMW. I got a Porsche too. I like the handling of the BMW and the European cars a lot better. They're meant to be on the autobahns. If you're going around corners, it feels like you're not going to die. The only thing I didn't like about the Mustang is when you're doing that, you're going around corners fast or doing anything like that, which I never do on public roads.
No, never.
Never.
Me neither.
It's very you get a lot of understeer. It's not very nimble. It's just, it goes in a straight line really fast and then it just dies after that.
You're supposed to drift through the curves and the corners.
Yeah, you drift. Like the 5-liter Mustang, I drifted right into a culvert.
That's because you don't know how to handle your car, man.
That was also 20 years ago, so I did not 20 years ago. That was before I went to the driving school and did all the fun things there. So here's our portfolio today. The market has been crashing quite a bit.
It went up a little bit. It was, when I was checking, it was down a couple $100.
Yeah,
Now it's up.
I
What
transferred some
happened?
money today to buy a stock. I want to try to buy a stock today. So we went from 125,000
Oh.
down to about 120.
Okay.
So I added 2. Not really concerned about it. Now, the thing that I want to remind people is when the market crashes and things are on fire, and I've got a whole bunch of articles here that I want everybody to see that kind of talks about what's going on this week in the market. When the market goes down, if you're in our position and you're investing the way we do, this is a good opportunity. This is where you make money. It may
Yep.
not seem like it, but this is actually that time. So portfolio income is up to $136. Seems like that. No, it's $336.75 every single month. And that varies depending upon like when the companies pay their dividends. If you actually look at the dividends that we get, they are mostly, except for Anelli Capital, they are all qualified. If you don't understand that, get a financial advisor. They will tell you the difference between qualified and ordinary dividends. And there's a big difference if you're in a higher income bracket. It makes a
Or
big,
go
big
search
difference.
go search through our videos. I mean, we've said it 100 times.
Yes, we have. Yep. I had a guy ask me this week. He was, "Hey Tom, I want to learn what you know, and I'm going to watch your videos starting from one." Oh, hang on, I'm going to close the door or the window. So
That's nice, but rough. Put it on times 2.
I told him, don't go back to the first year videos because obviously we're still learning YouTube today. But back then we really didn't know. We were just trying to figure out how to even get started.
How to talk on camera.
Yeah,
Let alone.
that was because people don't know this. Like when you're staring at a camera and it's just the camera, it's hard to like have a conversation. To like tell them, especially when you're talking about stuff like stocks. This is not something that, and especially if you're an income investor or dividend growth investor like we are, it's not exactly something that's a crazy exciting topic to talk about. So what do? You go back 3 years and you watch our videos, you find out exactly how bad it was and how what we actually did.
Well, if you want a good laugh, go ahead.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there that, like, what the heck? What are you
Yeah.
even talking about?
Yeah. We could not stay on task. We still have that problem today, but we're a little bit better
We do.
about it. But he wanted to watch all the videos. I told him, yeah, go back in time, watch maybe starting at year 2, and you'll see all of this. Like you'll see the portfolio back when it was there. You'll see how we grew. You'll see some of the stocks we sold. More importantly, you'll pick up on the method. You'll understand why we did what we did. And even if we made a mistake, which we haven't yet, knock on wood, we haven't made a mistake yet, but you'll see how we get to the numbers that we get, where we're averaging. Like right now, the market's been crashing a lot. Now, even with the market crashing, our annualized growth rate is 11.55%, excluding dividends. You can throw in dividends into that, you're almost at 17%. I'd say that's pretty darn good because that does not also include the sale of the stocks that we've like made a lot of money on. We've had a couple of sales that were over 50% gains that we just sold and bought a different stock with. That's not included in this number. So if you want to know, on average, it's about 20% per year, give or take. Anytime I get over that, I get really nervous because something happens, like there's a conflict somewhere or a major life event that like interrupts it. So
The universe tends to balance itself out.
yeah, we're not quite there, but we're getting close. But no, I told him to watch this stuff. I'm a Christian. I said, look, if you want to understand the foundation of it, read the Bible. You'll get the foundation. You'll get all of the things that you need to know about finance and how to treat things or respond to situations from there. Do that first. If you don't have that foundation, then you probably will struggle. And I don't think he's a Christian, so we'll see how that goes. But the long story short, hopefully he's watching today, and hopefully he can understand why we're doing what we're doing, and he learned something. If you're new to investing and you don't have a lot of money to spend, you need to start small, and that's why I say go back in time. We explain all of that. We even explain how to get out of debt. We had a guy come on our channel that we absolved over $100,000 of his debt in a few years, and it was a journey for him. It was harder for him than it was for me. Trust me, because
We need to have him back on to see how things are going. An update.
yeah, well, the peace of mind I would imagine that he has now, he didn't have before. So we've been doing this for almost 4 years, not quite 4 years, and this is what we've started. We used to make fun of our dividend checks. We used to think, it's enough to get a horsey ride at Meijer or something, or Walmart if you're not from the Midwest.
But Walmart doesn't have a horsey ride, but that's okay.
I don't know. What do they ride, the smiley face?
No,
I don't know what they do.
they don't have one.
They got people of Walmart gifts. That's what they have.
You gotta go ride Sandy at Meyer.
So we've got the income up to this is what we care about. We care about this number, the $336.75 a month. That is pretty consistent. And what we're trying to do today is we're trying to increase that. And that is amidst all of the other crazy things happening in the world right now. So we have a few things to talk about. And I'm going to talk about these things before we get into the stocks because that's typically when people join us. I asked Gemini, and it kind of defaulted on me at the end here, but I asked it to compare the stocks we looked at last week to some of the ones that we potentially want to buy today. And I told it to rate it on a scale of 100. It threw a couple of other extra ones in there. It's got Comcast, PayPal's in there. I've heard a lot of people talk about PayPal. We looked at them last week. Campbell Soup is in here. Campbell Soup has just taken a beating. They were in the middle of our portfolio and they are not. So we're going to cover all of this after I get into some of these interesting what's happening today stuff. So
there is one stock that was asked for in the comments of one of our videos for California Water.
California. Do you know what the symbol was?
Give me a second. I logged out. I need to log back in.
Let's see if I can search for it.
It should be in Schwab because I added it.
CWT? Yeah, I had it in there.
CWT.
Yep.
I
Okay.
put it in.
We will look at that one just a little bit. That is not actually in what we had AI compare us to. So I had it rate all of these on a scale of 1 to 100, and it's ironically, I had it do it for the whole market. And the ones that we've been looking at, it's rating pretty high. The only one we don't have here is CI. So we're going to look at that one, Signacorp, in a little bit too. But first, we need to talk about what's happening. Let's see if I can search for this. Signacorp. Come on, people. There it is. The Cigna Group. Okay. It's not owned by me because it has the on the front. The everything.
Everything is the.
Everything is the. So if you've been living in a cave, you probably don't know that like half the world is like fighting each other. Like we got Russia, you got Ukraine, you got Iran, you've got, I guess Iran's getting a little desperate. They're bombing like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and the UAE.
Yep.
Trump's been trying to get the EU and NATO to play ball. And I guess he got really pissed off because they told him, now hang on a minute. And he didn't like that.
Call them cowards.
They did come out with a statement yesterday. So it's a 2-minute read. And why are we talking about this? Because it relates to what stocks we're going to buy. Why? Well, some of the stuff that's been going on in Iran affects ExxonMobil directly, and that's one of the stocks in our portfolio. So yes, I know it's not exactly stocks, but it does relate to what we buy, why we buy, and when we buy. So we have to look at this stuff. So basically what it is, Japan and the European nations issued a joint statement. They said, I'll post this link right here. We condemn in the strongest terms recent attacks. Somebody called me. We condemn in the strongest terms recent attacks by Iran on unarmed commercial vessels in the Gulf, attacks on civilian infrastructure, including oil and gas installations, and the de facto closure of the Strait of Hormuz by Iranian forces. We express our deep concern about the escalating conflict. We call on Iran to cease immediately its threats, laying of mines, drones, and missile attacks, and other attempts to block the strait to commercial shipping and comply with the UN Security Council Resolution of 2817. Freedom of navigation is a fundamental principle of international law, including under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. So the effects of Iran actions will be felt by people in all parts of the world, especially the most vulnerable. Consistent with the Resolution 2017, we emphasize that such interference with shipping and disruption of global economy supply chains constitute a threat to international peace and security. In this regard, we call for immediate comprehensive moratorium on attacks on civilian infrastructure, including oil and gas installations. It goes on a little bit where they are saying that yes, we're going to help. And took them a while.
It did.
But they
Some
did.
prodding and poking.
That's, if anybody ever says that Trump is like down on NATO, this is one of the reasons why. It's supposed to be an alliance. And it's kind of like you shouldn't have to. If you're going on a date with somebody, you shouldn't have to drag them to it. And that's not as important to me as like military alliances.
Right.
But, that's just me.
With the energy and oil, I don't know if it's an emergency, but I'm going to call it an emergency across a lot of the world. It shouldn't take that to have them have a call to action and actually send ships and do things to help. Not even if you're down on the war, you condemn the war. You want to make sure that those ships get through, right? And that Iran's not just picking certain ships to get through. That all of them, all commercial ships, should be able to get through that strait. It's just should be common courtesy to your own country to allow all that oil to flow, right?
You would think. Meanwhile, we've got, and by the way, on that note, it's going to take them a few weeks to even get the assets into place. So you're still going to see all this stuff about oil and the price of gas, which I guess in California, it's over $9 in some places.
I think it's up to $4 here.
Yeah, I normally diesel is cheaper than unleaded fuel. I went to fill up my tractor last weekend, and it was $5 for a gallon for the tractor. Like, geez, I thought I was supposed to be saving money by being on a diesel. No, I guess not. So
you should have got an electric tractor.
Yeah, I'm sure that would last a while. Can you imagine trying to move dirt with that? Okay, I got one done. The whole thing shuts down.
It'd have some good weight to it.
It really would. It would. Meanwhile, over in Russia, we got Putin's army breaking a grim record with 1,700 soldiers lost in a day. And you might ask, like, what does this have to do with stocks? Actually, a lot. Let's talk about demographics for a minute. So people are talking about the Chinese economy being like the second largest economy. We're talking about like, well, hey, is there going to be World War III? What's the chance like American debt's going to spiral out of control like it did with Greece? They're concerned about actual stock market complete meltdown where we're dealing with austerity that's like really bad. So I just put these things into 4 different AIs, and I want to bring kind of what the result of that conversation was to people's attention. China is not incentivized to start conflict.
Right.
We are their biggest trade partner, and they are much more self-interested in their own problems. They had a one-child birth policy for decades, and that has caused some major issues with an aging population. They have entire cities that they've been funding with their yuan currency to like developers, major land and contracting developers that have nobody living in them.
Go back to the one birth child issue, and it gets even deeper than that because a lot of people were choosing to keep the boys over the girls.
Yes, yeah.
And when you do that, because they're the workers are the ones that go out and do the deeds and make the decisions in that culture. And when you do that, there's less females to give birth. So that was a 2-step degradation of their culture and their population over time.
It's getting worse. So in this conversation, this is a different one that I had. They have a specific I think there's a name in here I want to cover with people. I got to go back to it. It talks about property rights, and it talks about like what happens with these, like why aren't they just moving people into these cities? Well, demographically they could, but there's no jobs there's no demand in those areas. So in order for them to do that, there would have to be like a reason for them to move there and actually make sense of it. So what's happening is you've got a one-child policy. The population is getting cut in half within 15 years. you have a property. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna pull this up. I know it's in here. It starts with an H. I can't think of the name of it. It'll probably come to me in the middle of like some other random conversation that we're talking about. Let's see.
Where's Matt when you need him?
Yeah, Matt, where are you?
The mind
Let's
of
see.
Matt.
I will find it. No, not that. Talking about their debt pressure here. This is, I could share this with people. I can't because this is a licensed copy. And I can't just like, hey, here you go.
Control A, Control C, Control V.
Oh, goodness. Let's spam chat. So,
What are you looking for?
I think it's like Hanwha or something like that. There's a Chinese property and a land right thing that restricts them from being able to move into these urbanized locations. Plus, it deals with like their schooling system. So I guess the point is with regard to the market and like BRICS in particular, and the birth rate with China. So I'm going to tie this in a little bit, or at least try to. If you're not keeping with me, just let me know. But basically, BRICS is an alliance of these nations that are trying to de-dollarize global trade. And people are talking about United States dollar. They're talking about that being a big problem, that BRICS are going to be an issue with the United States economy. And honestly, I don't think I agree with that in its current context. If you look up the countries that are using BRICS, economically, they could be a powerhouse. But if you're talking about China, China has a aging population problem. We just talked about the one-child policy. In addition to that, the birth rate of the current millennial generation of the Chinese population is below 1. So for every couple, you got 2 people, they're having less than 1 child. So if they were 1 billion people today, next generation, they're 500 million. Maybe a little bit more than that. Next generation after that, they're 250 million. Just millennials in China are just not having kids. So from a GDP standpoint, that is cut in half and then cut in half. So that's a big problem. Additionally, if you're looking at like India, and by the way, if you want to talk about the conflict we were just talking about with China before I move on to India, let's talk about military readiness with Taiwan and some of the stuff. They have a short window of time that they can use their existing population, the younger people, to actually cause a conflict. The only thing that does is it becomes a demographic nightmare, though, because we already just said that the millennial generation over in China is not having kids. So if they're not having kids and they go to conflict, that makes the situation worse. It's like, well, Tom, how can you see that? Look at Russia. Russia is bleeding people a lot, and like this is a big problem where if they're losing, I can close this, we already talked about that, 1,700 people in one day. The people that are being lost in Russia are young family age people, right? These are young kids, and sadly most of them are conscripted and don't want to be there. But if you're talking from a market standpoint, an economic standpoint, they are losing their prime earning working force that can actually produce products and do things. So if you're a stock market channel like kind of we are, and you want to tie these dots together, if China has a demographic nightmare that's happened in 15 years, they have no reason to like actually attack that would do anything but hurt themselves. Same thing with Russia. Russia is already going to hit a massive demographic cliff. Massive demographic cliff. India is probably the only one that's got a much younger population, but they have a structural society issue over in India. India has a whole bunch of people, but they have this caste system. Yes, I know the caste system was abolished legally, and it was very recent. However, it's still structurally inherent in the system. It's kind of like the black reparations for black slavery in the United States. There was still like segregation going on all the way up till the 1950s. That was still a big issue. In India, the caste system is still very much a thing. So if you're talking about trying to take somebody who has in the lower pyramid of people, and it's just like a pyramid, you got a bazillion people at the bottom and you've got like 2 people at the top. Well, maybe more
Yeah.
than 2. It's a lot
Well,
of people
more.
over there.
Yeah. But
But
it's, I would argue it's going to take at least a generation to get the caste system out of India, because all the older people that are just stuck in their ways, even though it's illegal, they're not going to stop how they view the lower classes.
Huko, that's it right here. I found it while you were talking. The Huko system, Huku. I can't say it right, but basically, if you read up on it, it's
Cow.
here the Hukau. I don't know. Here, I'll put it in chat. There you go, guys.
You can look it up.
You can look it up. So basically, it's the system ties access to healthcare, schooling, pensions, and housing subsidies. You move into one of their giant ghost cities, and all of a sudden, like you lose it. So people aren't incentivized to move. So back to the demographic cliff over there to tie all this into bricks and everything. When these land developers develop all this property that nobody moves into, they go bankrupt. Well, what happens? The government, communist government, comes in there and bails them out. Well, it's not going to have an external effect on the yuan currency. It will have an effect on BRICS, but it doesn't have an internal effect on the currency devaluation within the country. It's kind of like the United States dollar. Government keeps printing money, just like China prints their own money. Inflation happens. What does that do to the Chinese currency over the United States currency as far as like what their value is? As time goes on, this demographic cliff that China, Russia, and these other countries are having, even the United States, if it wasn't for immigration, the United States would be below 2 as well. But we would be facing a very different situation if we didn't have that. We'd not be quite as bad as China, but we have they have a big GDP problem that's being caused by like a slowly moving train wreck. Like the younger people aren't having kids, the older people are dying off or they're retiring. They're not able to produce as much product. So China, I would contend, is much more concerned about that than they are causing a conflict with their largest trade partners. In fact, I would put this becoming World War III as a maybe 2 to 4% on a really high, like if I was being super optimistic, 4%. Now, that doesn't stop things from like Iran doing what they're doing. They're playing out of desperation. And Russia is a country that could just say like, you know what, screw it, scorched earth, boom. They just hit everything and everybody just dies. And that would be awful. But I don't think even they would do that because most people want to survive, or like Putin's got kids, right? You wouldn't think he'd want to kill them off, right?
Right.
Hopefully.
And even if Putin's like on his deathbed, I don't think he would do that because, he's maybe, a bad guy, but he's not crazy, right?
Well, not as crazy as me, but he's a little crazy. You gotta give him some credit. The guy's a little crazy.
I mean, even Kim Jong-un isn't crazy. Otherwise, he would have nuked Japan by now.
Maybe he tried. Maybe that's why they keep shooting rockets off into the ocean. He just keeps missing. Oh, I missed another one. Dang it.
It did not go off. No, I think that's interesting, but I think they're just trying to hone in. Someday they're going to hit their target.
North. You aim towards sun. You not aim sun. You aim north.
Right. And I think Kim Jong-un just did that to get the U.S. off their back, right? Once you get a nuclear weapon, we tend to leave you alone.
You have to look at this from their standpoint of starvation too. I mean, North Korea is probably about the size of Pennsylvania. They're a little bigger, but not much.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of people there, but they don't have a lot of like farmable land, and most of their resources that they could farm are being put into the military to just like keep control of the whole system. So they have a population that's absolutely starving, and you can tie in all of his like saber rattling, if you want to call it that, the negative rhetoric that comes out of North Korea to just how bad their humanitarian situation is. So
it's all caused by the government, because you have a case study right south of them. South Korea is a thriving community. They've got the same land, the same pluses and minuses to where they live, but they're thriving, whereas North Korea is not.
Well, they have K-pop demon hunters in South Korea. That's why they got
Huntrix.
Yeah, and neon lights all over their city. That's why.
Well, yeah. Okay. We could give North Korea neon lights. There you go. Actually, they're probably LEDs by now. But
That'll fix your problems. I did hear they finally opened up in North Korea. There was a city near the Chinese border where they opened up like a free trade section, and it's super polished. It's really weird. You see this big street going through it, and there's like no cars. It's everybody walking through the street with their bikes and stuff, and they're not even looking for cars. It's like that's how bad this is. Why are we talking about this with regard to stocks? These are all members of BRICS. They play into the part with the conflict. North Korea is supplying missiles and munitions to Russia to fight against Ukraine.
And people.
And people, yeah, and Iran was doing the same thing. They were supplying drones and munitions to Moscow to like take out as much as they could in Ukraine. There's a big global supply chain issue going on. In fact, if you want to talk about like how global it is, when we stopped with the Venezuela stuff, look at the. I saw you falling asleep there.
No, it wasn't even falling asleep. I got a story.
You got a story?
Yeah,
you got
about the global supply chain.
All right, I'll finish with Cuba is basically when we took over Venezuela oil shipments, Cuba stopped getting them. So if you look at like Cuba going into massive protest mode, it's because they stopped receiving the fuel for their power plants.
Well, look at the Cuban people, because they're starting to hold up signs for the U.S. after Iran and Venezuela. They say Cuba next, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that, the Cuban people want it. They want their dictatorship out.
This is why, and actually, no, I'm going to wait. You had a story. Tell your story.
Okay, so I got this Synology NAS, right?
Yes.
That I use for all of our videos and documents and backups. Anyway, I've been slowly converting the 6 terabyte drives to 20 terabyte drives. And I recently looked to just get another one. It's a 5 drive bay, and I've got 2. I need 3 more. I just looked for the Seagate NAS 20 terabyte. It's $500. I spent $381 last year. This time last year, April of last year, $381. It's now $500. All because of stupid AI buying up all the parts and all the supply chains to run their data centers.
No, man, I got to be political. It's tariffs.
And tariffs.
Has nothing to do with data center usage. The actual problem. It's not that.
It has everything to do with that. But yeah, it's low supply right now, and they're charging an arm and a leg, man. So I'm not buying any hard drives for a little while. I've got 15 terabytes free, so I'm fine. But I just figured I would get another one.
15 terabytes of Brian and Tom talking. That's at least 3 minutes worth. At least 3 minutes worth.
Yeah, at 6K. What are we filming at?
No, it's only 1080p now. I've got a pretty massive computer, and just streaming like this will cause it to almost peak out.
Yeah,
it doesn't quite get there. If I do 4K, it will.
I don't see you upgrading that PC anytime soon either, because to get the same thing, it's going to cost you $10,000.
I will take you up on that. So, what we've been talking about since we've been squirreled epically. Thank you, Brian.
Sorry, I was. That
it does tie in. It does tie into what we're talking about. The fertility rate of Russia right now, this is without the conflict, is 1.37. So if you're looking at replacement, you need to be at 2.1, not 2. That's for every couple, you need to have 2 kids, at least just over 2 kids. They are at 1.37. The conflict is making that worse. If they're losing 1,700 people in a day, 2.1. You have 1/10 of a kid.
You need two kids and like a foot.
Why do you have like a mummified arm there? Well, that was little Timmy, but
that's my point 1.
That's my point 1. It's actually sadder than that. That's the point 1 is because people die, things happen.
Well, and it's fractions, right? Numbers don't always come out even.
No. So we've got, if I keep going back to this fertility rate stuff, when you're looking at, is the United States market going to be completely on fire because of World War III? Yeah, we have a lot of countries fighting each other right now, but I don't think the American economy is going to be affected the same way everybody thinks it will. We have the same demographic cliff that these other countries have. We have the boomer generation. Every one of them is over 60 now. They control a vast majority of the real estate market. And I can show that here. So now that we've seen that Russia, and we know that there's demographic bomb happening, what does that actually mean?
I have a solution to that.
What's your solution?
Oh, there you go. Robot soldiers.
Yep.
Putting Grok AI and Optimus to create a worker class of robots to take the jobs of the people that aren't taking them because we don't have the population anymore to cover all these positions.
You're talking about Terminators, what you're talking about. That's what you're talking about.
Not Terminator. I'm talking about workers.
No, these are the first robot soldiers actually have been deployed. So these
That
are
was
the
only a
Mark
matter of
ones.
time.
These are being deployed in Ukraine right now. Now, I think ethically that's, I don't know what I think. I mean, how many different lines you've crossed by having a robot being able to kill somebody autonomously. I don't think these are autonomous. I think these are like there's somebody behind them steering them.
Yeah. But you know what? Look up if you show the thing again. The actual that is like
It's Optimus.
it's well, kind of, but it's not
RoboCop.
that's not the most efficient form factor. Like a human walking with arms, like give it wheels and treads and
The
the ability
reason
to
why
fly.
they do this is it fakes out radar. Apparently, it fakes out the thermal sensors too, because they like as it generates heat, it makes the Russian radar think that it's a person. So if you're looking
Okay.
for an infrared or a thermal scanner, it shows up and it looks like and it moves like a person. So shoot that thing, and it's not actually people. So that's why
makes
they did
sense.
that. This could change it, but then you just become a army of like Star Wars. You just become a droid farm essentially. So
Well, people won't die. It'll just be droids attacking droids, and whoever wins wins, right?
that'd probably be China in that case because they got all the manufacturing. Sort
We're
of.
bringing it back here, right?
We're bringing it back. Why am I saying this stuff? Why do we even care about this? Well, there's a lot of panic with regard to, in fact, a couple people I talked to said, well, World War III, World War III is like, I don't think that's
No.
the case.
No.
I think it's a regional conflict. There's a lot of them. I guess Pakistan and Afghanistan right now are not happy with each other. They had a conflict at the border, and now they're shooting each other. So there's a big fight going on there. The Sunnis in Iraq are saying, "Hey, we're ready to jump in Iran." Like they've got everybody geared up at the border, and we're telling them, "No, don't go in." You've got like almost 20 countries right now that are fighting. So in theory, is a World War III? No, but there's a lot of people that are involved already. Could
Well,
it
it's
scale?
funny though. When you talk about that, half of them are all Islamists, right? Islamists. There we go.
Most of the countries are in that area.
Sunnis, the Houthis, like they're all part of Islam, just different factions. So it's like even in Islam, they're fighting each other.
It's sad. The whole thing is sad. So I don't think it's a world war scenario.
No.
Demographically,
just because all the countries are involved doesn't make it a world war, right?
well, just because everybody's fighting, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Just because we're all shooting each other doesn't mean it's a world war. It's just
because
kind
we're
of
not all
it's just
we're
mom and
not all
dad
fighting the
arguing.
same people, right?
We're not really fighting. We're just arguing with bombs.
It's just a bunch of different countries fighting different wars at the same time.
It's okay. They're the little bombs. They're not the big bombs. That's horrible. So, anyways, Iran.
The bunker busters are very big bombs.
Yes, they are. I saw some videos on those. That was pretty humbling. Iran is, in its desperation, attacking LNG facilities. This directly affects ExxonMobil stock directly because this is like 20% of the natural gas supply that they've been using. So I posted the article in chat for everybody to see this. And what I'm hoping to do by discussing demographics of China, the birth rate, the demographic cliff that they're dealing with, the stuff that's going on structurally with India. India, we talked about this last week, has a huge groundwater problem. Huge groundwater problem. We talked about the billions of dollars that they're spending to try to get rid of the agricultural, basically stealing the water and the runoff problems that they have, but then they have to treat it. We talked about desalinization. The stock that came out of that was XYL as a good play to try and solve that problem. So if you want to invest money into a business that's got a board of directors that will try to hopefully ethically like solve that, they have a problem where they're saying that 21 major cities, and Tehran is not one of them. So Tehran's a different one. That one's also going dry, where you turn on the tap, nothing comes out.
Tehran?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't speak anything but redneck. And
Iran.
Nerd. I'm good
Tehran.
at nerd. So Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron. So basically, these countries have big problems, and I think some of these problems are big enough where conflict is not only not in their best interest, it's going to be just prohibitive to the fact that can they even keep up with it. The United States military is very mechanized, very roboticized. If you want to use all the ized words, it's any one of those. The one thing that we don't have a heavy investment in our conflicts today is human capital. Do you see boots on the ground in Iran? No, we're bombing the crap out of them with planes. In fact, we freaked out because somebody shot probably some dude on a magic carpet somewhere flying around. Like he actually, an AK actually hit the F-35. Like we freaked out because one plane had to make an emergency landing. It wasn't even shot out of the sky. It was just like, oh no, I got hit. I have to land now. That's not really a conflict for us, but most of our military is like that. So, and when you're talking about like global conflict, I don't think that's going to happen. The market's starting to react to it, and I would say that the market is reacting to this. I do not think they're reacting to the fear of World War III, and I've seen it. CNN, I've seen it all over them. I've seen it even on Fox News, where like fears of World War III caused the stock market to crash, and that's like, guys, that's not what's happening. They're trading futures based on fear of like oil supply and natural gas supplies. And right here, like the rhetoric coming out of Trump where he's saying like, hey, if you attack Qatar again, we'll bomb your whole LNG facility. That's like, don't do that because that supplies most of Europe's oil. And China too. China gets a lot of natural gas and oil from them too. But the point I'm trying to make here is I don't think the fear that is driving the market is related to these things. What I would contend with, that the fear driving the market today has a lot more to do with the fact that like this right here.
So a new video of
There you go.
McDonald's
I'm gonna play
CEO
this.
spitting out a
Okay, this is hugely important.
chicken burger is now going viral online. In the clip, he takes a bite of a McDonald's
There he
chicken
did it.
sandwich
He
and
wiped
immediately
it.
grabs a
He
napkin to wipe his mouth.
spit it
After
out.
The video spread on social media. Some
Sure
viewers
looks like he
claimed
spit
looked
it
like
out.
He spit the bite out.
And cheese and of course the McDonald's Big Mac sauce, but we now have 2 chicken patties. So let's give
That's the
this a
chicken
try.
sandwich. The chicken whopper.
Really good.
So a new video of McDonald's
He does.
CEO
I'm
spitting out a
surprised.
chicken burger is now going viral online.
He actually spits it
Look,
out.
his first video, he got nailed on because he took this tiny little bite that didn't like get any of the meat, like barely any, and
One
ate it.
piece
And then
of
there's
lettuce.
like you didn't eat any of it. He took this tiniest little bite. It's like Facebook. What's his name?
Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg. Yeah, Zuckerberg and Congress taking these tiny little sips of water.
Oh yeah, it was every like 30 seconds or something. There's a couple of memes
Yeah.
about that.
Tiny little, like he just got his lips wet a little.
Just like me right now. No,
My TDD merch.
so I think that the problem that we're dealing with has very little to do with just oil. I think it's got more to do with the $3 menu that is sounding an alarm of America's K-shaped economy. AI is causing mass disruption. So McDonald's is rolling out its cheapest value menu in years, a move that could speak more to the state of America's economy than it does fast food. Even as sales rose for the quarter, executives at the world's largest burger chain acknowledged, and I would contend that these guys are just as much real estate as they are burgers. Anyway, so the executives at the world's largest burger chain acknowledged in its February earnings, so last month, the fast food environment, which has pulled back in recent quarters, would remain challenging in 2026. They're talking about their environment to purchase food. So who shops at McDonald's? Same thing with Campbell's Soup. Who buys Campbell's Soup? We'll get into Campbell's Soup in a minute. According to the Campbell's Soup CTO, it is poor people who is no longer at Campbell's Soup. He has been fired, probably rightfully so. That's a horrible thing to say. So basically, to address the issue, CEO Chris said during the company's latest earnings call, the restaurant chain would double down.
We're on first names with our CEO now.
First name basis, yes. Hey, how you doing, Chris?
When you got a last name like that, I don't blame you.
I'm not even going to try. Kempczynski.
That's pretty close. I think that's close. Kempczynski.
Kempczynski. My mom's side of the family is Polish, so I probably should know that. But anyways, so McDonald's is not going to beat on value and affordability, he said. Okay, so they're sacrificing the value part. You're just getting something that's affordable. Is it food? I don't know. Maybe.
But its value and affordability is lower than everybody, or is better than everybody else.
So we're not just seeing this here, and we spent a whole bunch of time talking about demographics. If you are tuning into this now, the flow is starting to get there, but what I'm getting at is we're having different issues in the United States economy that are more related to what's structurally and fundamentally happening with the market than, oh no, we lost an LNG facility in over Iran. That is all like day traders, capitalists, like being opportunistic. It does
That's
affect
futures
it.
trading.
It does affect your price of oil. It does affect the price of gas. If you're UPS, you're freaking out right now because every time the price of gas goes up a penny, and this is, unfortunately, my data is pretty old, but back in 2008, if their price of gas went up by 1 penny, their daily operating costs went up by $1 million.
And now oil's pushing $100, sometimes going over, depending on the day.
Yeah, so there are effects. They're not going to show up in earnings sheets and people's paychecks tomorrow. So when Iran bombs this facility, a refinery capacity, people are trading on what they think is going to happen tomorrow. They're not trading on what's actually structurally happening today. What's structurally happening today is a little different. This is something that's been going on for multiple administrations. I'm not going to blame Trump. I'm not going to blame Biden. I'm not going to blame, Obama. It goes back, like everybody played a part going back 30 years to some degree. We have a problem right now where inflation in certain aspects, like let's say you went to go buy a car, or you were trying to go buy a house, is so ridiculously extreme that you have to be in the top 1% of where we live in Michigan to afford anything over $750,000. You don't believe me? Go check it out. The people that are buying stuff over $800,000 or $750,000 by the time you get it, it's 800, are people who are like out of state, essentially, or they're the very, very few rich people. And right now, the same thing that caused the housing bubble to start, which was the massive peak of birth rate in the United States demographically, we had a lot of kids after World War II, and that created a bubble, a boomer bubble. That boomer bubble is contributing to the massive rise in the housing market. In fact, here's an article, Seeking Alpha. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. If you can't see it, we have a discount on the subscription. If you go to our YouTube channel, click the link, that'll help you get into it. But here's what this says, so you can pause. Go ahead.
And when you say a boomer bubble, that just a history lesson, people, all you Gen Zers out there, millennials, boomers, that's why they're called boomers, because they're baby boomers. So after the war, there's a lot of babies that boomed. Boom. Boomers.
It's true.
Quit calling Gen X boomers.
I'm not that old yet. You whippersnappers.
That's not me.
So look at this graph here. This talks about the price history. This is inflation adjusted for. Everybody's like, oh, well, inflation and all. Okay, this is adjusted for inflation. Look at 2006. Okay.
Boom.
It's a big number. Go all the way to 2025. It's way past that. So if you lived through the recession, you see the problem. What's happening is people who work for 40 years tend to have money, right? They've built up assets. They've worked their whole life. They should have something. If you don't have something, then I would question your ability to, like, did you have a job? Did you just blow it all at the bar or something? Like, what'd you do?
Not save any of it. Also, keep in mind that if you are working for 40 years and you do have a 30-year mortgage, you're probably paid that house off by now.
That's what's contributing to the bubble. These people who have worked for all this time, Gen X is a very much smaller part of this, but they're part of it. They are buying homes now mostly with cash or very, very large down payments. So if you bought a house, you're not going to try to sell it for less than you paid for it. There's a whole different discussion. You can talk about investors and REITs that are causing some of the problem. I would contend that the housing bubble is, for at least the single family homes, is being caused by these people with a whole lot of equity. You've got people buying houses, you've got people flipping homes, you've got people trying to profiteer off of that, but they're profiteering off the back of price matching coming from people that have a whole lot of equity. And when you've got boomers now that basically are trying to sell their house and they realize nobody's buying it, they sit on it because they don't want to lose that money that they put into it. The party's ending. Like, this giant musical chairs thing is going on. The music stopped like 10 years ago, but nobody noticed, and they just kept running it up. In fact, I remember getting into an argument with my grandparents back before 2006. They spent all this money up in Canadian Lakes. It was a really nice house that they built, and they were spending over $300,000. Now, if you want to understand what that number was, late 90s, early 2000s, that's a lot of money for a house back then. They spent this. I said, guys, this is not an area that home is going to sell for that. Oh, you're just a young kid. You're stupid. They poo-pooed me, right? They thought I was being stupid. And I told them, it's like, look, this is not an area economically that's going to viably like support that price even 10 or 15 years from now. Fast forward 15 years, they got foreclosed on. They lost their house because it did not sell for what they thought it was going to sell for. That's
and
exactly
you laughed at him and laughed at him and said, ha ha.
No, it's kind of like anything where I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was trying to be helpful. I was trying to be nice. It's like, and I kind of felt bad because like nobody acknowledged that, like, hey, Chom was trying to be the nice guy, but no, that's different conversation. But here within the housing market, because these homes are not selling, in fact, if you want any evidence, just go to Florida, go to Texas. For whatever reason, look in West Michigan. West Michigan's a bubble right now that hasn't popped yet. But most anywhere else, these homes are just lingering forever and ever and ever. In fact, now you're seeing builders reduce these prices that they're offering these homes by a lot because they need to keep things going. They need to keep the profit machine going. So now you've got new homes selling for a lot less than like used homes. Oh, but Tom, location. Yes, I understand that. But
because it's aggregate. Like when you say Texas, go to Texas, it's an aggregate of Texas because Austin is completely different than Houston. Like Austin is...
Yeah.
It has very good housing prices. They're building. It's a good area to move to. Houston, on the other hand, is the opposite.
So we have with regard to like what your area is, just take a look. You'll see that these expensive homes are starting to last longer. Now, the boomers are aging in place. They are essentially going to die in these houses. So we've been looking at this, I think, every single week. I avoided talking about this for 2 weeks. You should be proud of me, everybody. But we've had it where they're aging in place. They're going to die off. Now, this wave is going to start coming slowly, like a whoopee cushion deflated. I've said this a dozen times too, where when the house doesn't sell, it goes to an estate. If there's a trust fund or something like that when they die, or probate comes and takes it, at that point there's a 50% tax, and then the local government gets some money, or the state does profit sharing back. Depends upon the county and what your state laws are. They're different for every state, but essentially what's going to happen is you're going to have all these really nice, huge McMansions from the boomer era that are just going to slowly trickle in over and over and over and over again. what is going to contribute to basically what's going to be a giant flat line of the housing prices. And I would contend that, if you're thinking a 2006 crash is going to happen, I don't think it's going to be like that. We've got a lot tighter lending standards than we did back then. I think what's going to happen is just going to be inflation, because we have such a wonderful way of spending money here in the United States, is going to creep its way up into these housing prices, where that $1 million house now that just did not sell now suddenly seems affordable, because eventually inflation of wages, and hopefully wages, and the cost of goods rose to matched it. Now,
and to pry myself into your little tirade here,
ooh,
I would be remiss to not mention and to give a point to what you're saying is that we did lose a national treasure today or yesterday. Chuck Norris is no longer with us.
are you going to buy his house?
I don't think I could afford his house.
He has multiple homes. Yeah, I heard about that. That was today, wasn't it?
I can't believe he was 86.
That's sad.
He looked very good for 86.
He did. So here are the 3 points in this article that are talking about. Now, when it says surge 60%, I want people to understand the surge number here is reflective of what it was a year ago. It's like the price to earnings number that we talked about when you're analyzing stocks.
Welcome, Soldier Boy.
Hey, Soldier. I would say that the 60% is over what it was from last year. So the number of homeowners with negative equity surged about 60% in 2025. So it's now over 1 million people that have negative equity. These people, if they don't have to sell, and again, more than 40% of the people that own these houses are over the age of 60, so they're boomers. They're just going to sit in the house. So the people that have negative equity that have to sell, that's going to be a big issue. That's that K-shaped economy where you got the $3 menu at McDonald's. It's those people. They're the ones that are going to be in trouble, assuming they can even get a house. Because right now, millennials and below are only accounting for like 23, 24% of the actual housing purchases out there. Everything else is boomers and REITs and investment trusts. So if you've got no equity, there's the point they make here is that it's a lot easier for people to walk away. I would agree with that. That's a lot of what happened in 2008. Is it going to happen the same way? No, it's going to be a little different than last time. But bullet point number 2, foreclosures are surging across the United States. It's happening at a time when the economy is relatively strong. Why do we talk about the conflict? Because if your gas price doubles and you're already on the edge and you're in the bottom part of that K-shaped economy and you can barely afford your mortgage, and all of a sudden your car costs twice as much to fuel up or anything else, like a gallon of milk, because a grocery store is not going to just like absorb the cost. They're going to raise the price of their milk and all their goods to match the cost of it, the logistics to get the products to their store. So you're going to be affected everywhere. So when they say the economy is relatively strong, yeah, it is. But if they don't fix the problem over in the Middle East, it's not going to be much longer. That's another issue that would create a tidal wave of foreclosures. So that could be another problem. There's I don't know if this has anything to do with it. They're saying like Google searches for help with mortgage have recently reached levels that were seen during the last great financial crisis. Okay. Like I said, he talks about like, he could be wrong. He thinks it's like apocalyptic. I like using that word. But I don't think this is an apocalyptic scenario. I think this is just going to be very flat. Inflation is going to have to match it. Probate's going to come in. They're going to have to make it so investors can't buy these homes and resell them, because that's just going to keep making the problem worse and worse and worse. Where I think he's not considering in this article is I think he's not considering the huge housing shortage we have. We have a big problem with a shortage of homes. So if anything, this is going to mean that people are going to just sit in their homes longer. Inflation is going to get worse. You're going to see REITs struggle a little bit, like we're seeing in the commercial sector right now. And I think you're also going to see probably within the next 5 to 10 years, some of these, like the jaws of like high prices are slowly going to get released. If the interest rates from the Fed, so another macroeconomic global thing, if the Fed says, hey, we're not going to lower rates, which he did, Good for him. That's hard to do. That would contribute to lowering the demand of not just housing. This is like everything. It's like if you're a landscaping company, you want to get a loan for a fleet of vehicles or something, then that would affect that too. So he's walking a really delicate line right now. But I would say that if that doesn't happen, if the rates don't go down, and I don't think they will go down that much, that's going to contribute to this negative pressure. So this is why the Fed says they're going to be watching what's going on in Iran, because it could tip and go real far real fast. But remember, most of the people that own these houses that have equity are older. They are either paying with all cash, they don't have any, they're free and clear, or they have a huge down payment. They're not willing to sacrifice all the equity they have in their house for that. So very few people who are of working age are of these people that are like actually in trouble with the housing market. So if you think like, well, I'll just wait for the housing market to crash, like, I don't think it's coming. Not the way you think it's coming. Maybe in Florida. Maybe it'll come in Florida.
in different regions, I would think.
Yeah.
Right? Have it regional, not the entire United States. Like 2008. That was a big drop over a couple months. I think this is going to be a big drop over like years.
I feel stupid for not buying like a lakefront mansion in 2008 because I'd be sitting a lot better right now.
Right?
Instead, I was the safe guy. I bought the little pond. I had a little pond in my backyard. That was what I bought. But this is what they say in summary. With home prices potentially declining due to a lack of affordability, many more homeowners could be at risk of having negative equity. This suggests the housing market could be poised for a downward spiral with rising layoffs likely to create another wave of what is already in surge of foreclosures. He's not accounting for demographics, but that's what he thinks. Talking about negative feedback loop, and interestingly, if you go to the comments, I'm not going to get all the comments. There's a lot of people who point that out too. They're like, "Hey, you're not really thinking about this," and they also do point out the fact that hey, we have a really huge housing shortage. I would contend that China and Japan do not have that problem.
No, they got entire cities that people could move into.
Exactly. That's where I would expect to see in the next 15 years, somewhere between 10 and 15 years, you're going to start seeing some of this problem come to light. There's going to be a lot of beautiful old homes out there that are McMansions from the boomer generation that are going to go up for sale that, honestly, if you're a millennial and you don't have any kids, like, why would you want that? Just this massive empty house. It's like, you're not going to need that.
Because that's what they're told. You get the 2,000 square foot house with a white picket fence and the acre of land, 3-car garage. That's your starter home. It's like, no, no, it's not. That's not how it goes.
Complete with association fees.
Right.
That's your starter house.
And your taxes. They don't tell them about the taxes that you have to pay every year and all that.
Or insurance. I looked at that condo, by the
utilities. How much does it cost to heat the damn thing?
When I moved into this house, it was $480 in January, the first winter. I was like, oh, I got it down to 85 with all the spray foam I'm doing. So I'm getting there. We're not quite to where I was in Granville, but we're getting.
You had to spend $120,000 to get it down to 80, but
no, I think I'm up to like 25,000 in foam, which is still a lot of foam. I'll give you that. That's still a lot of foam.
That's just the foam. That's not including the windows and the.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. So we've got the next article here from New York Post. We'll get into stocks after that, where the home foreclosures are rising for a 12th straight month. Imagine that. If you bought your house between 2022 and 2024, you got screwed, and I am not necessarily sorry, but not a good position to be in, because some people had to move. They didn't have a choice. So
yeah. And we've been saying that for 12 straight months, right?
Yep. So the only thing I want to pull into this is just to tie into the last article where, like, right now we're hitting 40,000 homes that are getting foreclosed on basically in February. So it's happening. It's just not the way people expected it would be.
Right. It's not a
Property
cliff.
taxes are not going away now, not during a war. No, they are not. I think we hit $39 trillion of debt, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Anti-vaxxer Yogi. I love it.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, except it's like coming into your house. You can't stop it. It's just going
Right.
really slow. What was that? The Luca Disney movie, Pixar, Disney, one of those cartoon kids movies, where like I guess he gets in trouble and they're going to send him away with his uncle, and he's like, well, the carcass just comes into your mouth. You can't stop it. It just keeps coming. It's kind of the way I feel about our debt. Yeah. I got no other examples, man. I got little kids.
Luke.
That's all I got. So here we have with this. We talked about the McDonald's CEO. We talked about we can talk about Mamdani. You want to talk about Mamdani?
Yeah, that guy's always fun to talk about. He's a train wreck.
I don't know. Maybe he's like super intelligent and just knows more than everybody else on the planet, including all the economists
and everybody else around him. Nobody
Possible.
understands me.
He just misunderstands. He's like me. We're just like a kin. Nobody gets us.
Nobody gets me. You should interview him. See if you guys are kindred spirits here.
He can't be that stupid. I mean, he got to be the mayor of one of the most densely populated cities in the United States, or he's like he's a really good stooge. I don't know, but
he talked a good game, right? He said all the things that people wanted to hear. We're going to fix rent control. We're going to make sure, we're going to bring apart some low income grocery stores that are government funded that you can go to and get cheap food. Busing is going to be free. He said all the right things that the New Yorkers, at least the majority, wanted to hear. Like the rich didn't want to hear any of this because he's taxing them another 10 or 15% over what they're originally being taxed. So
people didn't realize what he meant when he said the rich.
yeah,
because you got to pay for this somehow, and the people
and it's not like the super rich.
Yeah. So essentially, what this article is, I'm going to post this here for you guys. This is what's happening in New York right now. So essentially, he's raising taxes by 9.5% on single-family homes, co-ops, and condos. So this is quite a bit. They're talking about California there. But if we go here, so the socialist mayor wants to drastically slash the state tax exemptions threshold from the $7 million limit. So this is like properties inside of New York, to just $750,000. Is there even a house for sale, like for $750,000 in Manhattan? I know there is outside of the main area. You have to go to the three boroughs, but I think most everything is over $750,000.
Yeah.
So he's saying that your estate tax exemption is now 10% of what it once was. So if you had a property in New York City and you wanted to give that to your kids, nope, not going to happen anymore. So his definition of rich is basically everybody who's left. Those of you who did not leave, you are now basically paying for those free buses. This is the problem when people say, oh, well, socialism is great. It's like, no, that's other people's money. Eventually you run out of it. It doesn't work that way.
And I say all along, and I've been saying this for years, socialism works great only in small, tight-knit communities, villages.
Yeah, like my company where people can slap me across the face when I want to buy something.
Yeah, it doesn't scale. Like an Amish community is a socialist community. Everybody pitches in to help build everybody else's houses. Everybody pitches in to farm, to do all the things, make the clothes, and do all the things that need to be done. That works. But when you get 100 million, 300 million people, socialism doesn't work anymore.
My face can't take that many slaps. I would die.
Yeah.
Too many slappage. Too much slappage.
You'd have so many concussions. So many.
Nobody does concussions like Tom does concussions. I have the best concussions from the best and the most people. Everybody
I see
says
the best
so.
visions when I'm concussed.
Everybody says so because it's everybody that's
programs
slapping me.
work. Yeah, but but an entire socialist society does not. It's been proven.
So
Or
this is,
communism. Communism, same way. Works
it's-
great on paper and in small communities, but when you scale it, doesn't work for countries.
it's kind of working in China, unless if they can figure out how to like force people to have children, they might be okay.
No,
but-
because China's not a complete communist country. They have a capitalist society built upon a communist government.
Oh,
They,
yes.
they've adopted capitalism. So is Russia. Russia's adopted capitalist ideals in much of their society. So that's what's keeping them afloat. It's not communism.
When people vote for this kind of thing, they vote for Mamdani. They're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about the broader implications of it. So
Right.
I think what you're going to see here, unfortunately, with New York is a lot more of this. And you're going to see a lot of what's happening in California. California had one of its first population declines recently, and New York is having the same problem. All the people who pay all the taxes are leaving.
Yeah,
And
everybody's moving out.
and I saw another study too where it talked about like, is it wrong to be rich? And they're talking billionaires. So this isn't Brian, this isn't myself. This is like people who have billions of dollars. And they found that like of Republicans, it was 9% thought that it was bad. All of those people were under the age of 40. And of Democrats, it was 29%. And like of the people who were under the age of 40, it was like 90% of them. It's like, yes, there is a problem with wealth concentration. That is an issue. However, you can't get it to the point where you cripple the people who have achieved something where there's no longer any incentive. You're going to have flight because those people can afford to leave. They're just going to say, okay, fine, I'll go somewhere else. And they will. So sure, you can punish them, but why would you as a person want to live in an area or be part of an area where everybody thinks you're the bad guy? Like, you're going to do that. You're going to be like Dracula. You're going to move up to a castle and live in a cave for the, like, you're not going to hang out with these people. Like, I wouldn't.
You're a billionaire. I just buy an island, develop it, become my island.
It's my little paradise. That's kind of what's happening though. Like, you see Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, all these people are moving to Florida because it's more friendly to them. What happens to the tax revenue of Florida then? Maybe that's
Florida,
some of their
Texas,
insurance problems.
Tennessee.
You're right. So I think it's good. It sounds good on paper, but same thing with stocks. If you're on YouTube and you're watching us right now, fact check us. Make sure you're getting advice from people who actually know what they're doing. So make sure, oh no, I need to continue. Oh, I had 7 seconds left. Make sure you're getting advice from people who actually have results to show you. Here's our results. Like, we actually have results. We actually have income. We actually are doing relatively well, even though the market is crashing. And
Yeah, shoot. I was going to say, just look at the last 3 months where the economy has gone down. The stock market has ended its consecutive booms, and it's starting to decline over the last, 3 or 4 weeks.
yeah,
Look at how we've declined in relation to the SPY.
So where were we 3 months ago? We were at 106,000.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're at 120, almost 121,000.
Yep.
Our income has gone up a lot too. I've told people too that if the market crashes, a company declares their X date, a bunch of people jump out of it, either before that or after they declare it. They're still going to pay out the same amount per share. So either that lines their pockets or you get a bigger dividend check. And typically it's a bigger dividend check. So this
I don't
number's
mind
been
getting a
going up.
bigger dividend check.
So even though the market's going down, this is kind of the psychology of like why dividend growth investing is really good. When the market crashes and you're investing in a growth stock, and yes, I understand the argument that if it's a company that doesn't know what to do with their capital, they're going to pay you a dividend check, which directly contributes to the shrinkage of the size of market cap of that company. I get that. However, we don't buy businesses that are paying dividends based on speculation. At least I don't think we do. We buy companies that are paying dividends based on products that people have to use. So in theory, they're paying a percentage of profit from those products. So I'm not necessarily that concerned about their dividend check reducing the market cap that could otherwise change my growth. If you are in growth stocks right now and you don't have any dividend checks and the market goes down 10, 20%, you're probably freaking out. We do not care. We're getting greedy right now because everything just went on sale that can increase our passive income.
Right.
Matt, you finally
Matt's
joined
back.
us.
Well, he always comes around. He's got to
Eventually.
work or something. I don't know what he does, but he's got to actually do stuff.
He's secretly with the FBI.
His
Checking
this
us
is,
out.
No, this is when his supervisor goes home and he could click on Rumble and watch something.
He could be like some supervisor at a retirement community, just puts us on all the screens everywhere.
That'd be nice. But we'd have a lot better views if he did that.
Hey, Gertrude, come look at these attractive young men.
Yeah. See, going back to the dividend, what our dividend allows us to do, since we don't drip it, is when the economy does go down, the market
Talk
does
about
go
retirement
down.
communities and dripping. Jeez.
It gives us that's the prostate problem. It's real, man. No, it gives us cash to go into. I was taking it to go into the market when it's down, because like the problem with a lot of people is in their investing scheme is they invest. If they're doing it right, they put so much money per month into their accounts and buy stocks and whatever it is on a schedule, but that's just money they have. When the market's down, they don't have extra money to just get into the market and buy up when everything's on sale. So that's one of the reasons why we do it this way.
And how do you get rich? You celebrate the small wins. You don't look to be the guy in New York who has this piece of property that's worth millions of dollars, and that's like a garage in New York City. And all of a sudden you got somebody who gets elected that says, oh yeah, your estate tax now, 50% of that is ours. That's like everybody in New York. That's everybody. So all of your wealth is tied up in one little thing, gone. You cannot look for the moonshots. The people say, oh, I'm going Bitcoin to the moon. Like, that's not how you're going to get rich. Just doesn't happen that way. In fact, I had somebody tell me, well, Tom, why'd you pay off your house? You could have just taken $700,000 or whatever and just put it into the market, get passive income. Yeah, well, maybe, but how do I know that I won't have a job loss? Or how do I know that there won't be some kind of issue? Sorry, I had somebody call. I got to stop the vibrations on my phone. It's been busy today. It's kind of weird. It's like whenever I say, okay, I'm getting up, I'm going to lunch or whatever, all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. It's like, oh crap, Tom's leaving. Let's bother him.
That's because we send out a note to all of our customers, say, okay, Tom's going to lunch, call now.
Get him busy.
Yep.
But you're not gonna make a good way of passive income by predicting the best case scenario every time you're going to go. What you should do, and this is for the guy who said he wanted to learn everything about how I have achieved everything I got, you need to plan for the worst. Plan that,
Hope
like,
for the best.
yeah, maybe you don't have money for the next 6 months. That's why they say, hey, take 6 months of expenses, stock it away somewhere. Now, I wouldn't say just put it in a bank account. You could do something like this. Put it in investments that are safe. Speak to a financial advisor if you want. You could do a CD at a bank. I wouldn't do that. They don't pay hardly any rates that are worth it. But you do it where you can handle that. And if you can't do that and you've got a lot of debt and you say, well, I need to, in fact, one guy was telling me, well, I need to be able to get to work. So I'm going to go to the car dealer and get a car. I'm like, why are you going to the car dealer? Well, that's where you get them. It's like, go to Mel Trotter. What are you talking about? So I went to Mel Trotter. Oh, but you're worth all this money. Why would you do that? I says, because that's how I became worth all that money, is I went to these places and I started that way. I drove a Geo Metro for 12 years. If everybody's listening to me say the same stupid story again and again. But the point is that if you want to get started, you got to start at the bottom. Don't pretend that because you got this pay raise or you're making better money that you can now all of a sudden upgrade to the coffee every morning. Like, watch out for lifestyle creep.
Right. That is definitely a real thing. I mean, like, I would say everybody has a version of that, and some are terrible way with with income creep.
What are you saying? You telling me something here, Brian?
And yeah, Tom, with your $20,000 8K projector that you want.
They don't even make it yet. I want one, but they don't even have it. That's the problem.
But I'm with you though. Even I have a financial advisor that I used for a lot of this stuff because one, I didn't have time with the family to do it anymore, and two, it's always great to have people who are trained to do this to help you out with any decisions if you're on the fence of something. So you can do this. You could do it on your own, but I use Hans Group financial advisors to do, and they do a lot of estate planning and insurance and other things,
So what Brian is
wills and
saying
trusts.
is he didn't tell them hands off my money.
HANTZ, hands.
Well, they only
And I
named
did-
it that because somebody else took hands.
And that's a free advertisement for them, I guess, because they don't, of course, pay us. I pay them. But anyway, it's I miss my Metro. Metros are fun because you don't care about them as much. Like if it gets dinged or
What do you do if you're
Scratched.
poor? If you don't have any other money, that's hand screw. Yeah. I guess the point we're making here is you got to start with like $100, invest it into something that pays you back. And if you're going to have lifestyle creep, do it with the income that I just had up on the screen, the dividend checks that they're paying you from that. Don't do it with the money you already worked for. Do it with that stuff because then at least you know it's going to come again and again and again. Like a teenager at spring break. Did you see what's going on in spring break in Florida, by the way?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
There's like gunshots and riots and hundreds of people getting arrested and stuff. It's like spring break is not what it was. It's very different today. So, yeah.
That kid got killed in Spain on spring break from U.S. They're calling it an accident.
Accidental intentional death. So we've got all that covered. The stocks that we have on our list, we have to probably buy something today. And if you're just tuning in, there's a bunch of people. It's about, I've noticed when we start streaming, it's about 50 minutes in that people are like, hey, what are these guys doing?
I don't think it's 50 minutes in. I think it's just the timing. I think if we started streaming at 2, a lot of these people would come in like earlier.
Could be. We'll have to figure that out. If you guys have a best time that you want us to stream, tell us. We're in the Eastern time zone, and we'll try to make that fit. We only do it once a week. Like, we have jobs. We got things we have to do. We have to make sure we do our job. But at that note, we talked about demographics. We talked about war. We talked about Brian's Hansy investment advisor. I guess his wife.
You
has
got
a
to pay
problem
extra
with
for that.
But,
For the handsy treatment.
we talked about like the housing market a little bit, and the reason why we're doing this is there's 2 stocks in particular in our portfolio that have pretty much collapsed. Campbell Soup is one of them. They were actually doing pretty good, and now they're down almost 40%. So what I'm looking at with these guys is, should we buy them? I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's what we're looking at, because it's a good opportunity for a company that produces products that people hopefully eat. I would think they do. I guess they had a pretty bad earnings report. I was going through it a little bit earlier this week, and it's not terrible. The thing that I would contend that is really struggling with these guys is the tariffs and sourcing their aluminum. So the metal they use to make their cans is a lot more expensive, and the logistics and shipping problems going on, especially like, I guess China's got a wall of ships now trying to hoard all the fish from Japan and Taiwan, but that's causing a problem with their profit structure. So they're in the middle of this big restructure. And if you look at their earnings announcement, you can see, I can pull it up right there. So they missed their earnings by 10%, which was 6 cents per share. Now let's think about that. They missed their earnings by 6 cents. Okay? That's not a lot. They were trading 1 month ago at $27 a share almost, $26.96. And now all of a sudden they say, we're off by 6 cents per share. There's a lot of shares. And they crashed all the way down to $20.80. This is what we talk about when we say the market trades based on sentiment a lot more than fundamentals. And that's why we always look at, where is it? Market Edge. There you go. That's why we look at Market Edge, because
Market Edge.
they give advice based on these technical indicators. So if you're an options and day trader, you're looking at Market Edge a lot more than us. We look at this to find out which one might be oversold. So is it justified? Well, I don't know about that. We'll have to look at that a little bit here. And if you look at their dividend payout, this is what happened when, based on their last dividend announcement, this is what they're paying, 7.42%. So if you held the stock from before the crash, this is what you're making in a dividend check. Is it feasible? Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Hey, Mardo, is the Power Drill the AI tool? Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of a funny thing to say about power drills, and
Power Drill.
I got nothing. So they're still paying 85% of their earnings. So that's only 15% left to grow the business and replace like infrastructure if there's problems. Not a lot. Their dividend coverage ratio, they're still covered. I'm not for sure how much longer that'll be covered. And this is as of February 1st. So these numbers are going to look significantly different the next time you see the earnings report come out. So let's see, CPB earnings report. Let's go through that and take a look at it. Investor relations, Campbell Soup. I'm not going to look at their, we're not going to listen to their earnings call.
Aw.
I don't think anybody's got, they have a hard enough stomach listening to me yam on for all this eternity here.
Nah, it's better just to do the PDF and then you could Control F.
Ooh, you want the presentation or the press release? The one
That was
that's
a
all
terrible
polished?
pun. Power Drill. Okay.
Presentation, PDF, or press release. They're both polished, so we're going to get polished. Let's do the presentation. The shiny little presentation.
Now you
If
can
I-
Control F and go through and look for specific words.
Like soup. And the.
How many times did they say the word the?
Want to find out? All right, the.
No. I don't.
They said the word the 79 times. It's all over here. How about and? I think and is much more of a indicative of somebody who can't figure out what they want to say. They said and a lot.
61. Yeah.
Look at all those ands. They have a really good marketing department. All right. Anyways, so if I had to guess, knowing what we know about Campbell's Soup, they're probably going to talk about their acquisition, Rayos. Is that Rayos?
Rayos.
They're probably going to lean into that a little bit more, and they're probably going to talk about the challenges of the economy. The people who presented this are these people here. I'm not going to say
We should
their
talk to
names.
her.
Rebecca?
Yeah. Chief
Maybe.
Investor Relations.
Maybe.
Ask her what
Ghost?
happened to the CIA, the Vice President of Information Technology.
He's buried with Jimmy Hoffa.
They found him. Huh.
All right, so what they're predicting per dollar consumption flat. They're expecting not a whole lot of growth. I would contend that that's probably right. Organic sales down 3%, net sales down 5%, adjusted earnings before income tax down 24%. Oh no. Earnings per share 51 cents per earning. This is why right here the stock crashed. The value of the company, if you take book value and price per earnings, is slightly influenced by, actually greatly influenced by what their revenue is. And if their revenue is dropping, I would contend that that's it. So what I would think that they're going to do with that, we'll get back to that presentation in a minute, is I would expect that this dividend check probably will not be increased. And I think the other thing that we will see, based on that number, and if you don't know what a dividend check is, that's their profit sharing, is they've been buying back shares. If I go back here, you're probably not going to see a lot of share buybacks. In fact, they've been barely doing that.
Yep.
So I would assume that we're not going to see a lot of that happening for them to stabilize the business where it's at. Now, if you're wondering like why we're interested in this company, look at these products they make. My favorite product, Campbell's Chunky Soup. They got Rayo's and Prego sauce.
Mhm.
Swanson's.
Pace. New York City.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Swanson's good.
Goldfish makes kids eat that like crazy,
Mhm.
even if it's not healthy. but they're still dealing with this major restructure. They're trying to rebrand. In fact, they're now called, instead of Campbell's Soup, they're called the Campbell's Company. In other words, they're trying to say, hey, we do more than just soup. So I get it.
It's true.
I don't think this is going to be a company that's going to recover quickly. We said that when we bought them, and I think that's still the case. They do see increase of their purchase. They did an acquisition. Rails is looking pretty good. Snack consumption's down. Some of this has to do with the K-shaped economy. So if you're thinking about like what's really going on, Goldfish Progress.
Oh,
What happened in that's Halloween. That's what that was. They just need to make like Sour Patch Goldfish or Starburst Fish or something.
now in ghost shapes.
Skittlefish. The revenue would go way up, but I think what's the Altria group? I think they would have a problem with that. I didn't know they
Now
made
with more
Milano.
nicotine than ever.
Did you know that? Did you know they made Milano? I think we actually talked about that. And
I
then
think we
just forgot.
did, yeah. And
Okay.
Pepperidge Farms, of course.
So they're basically saying, okay, yeah, that's basically what we said they were going to do. So their adjusted earnings per share Q2 they're expecting basically flat growth. So this is not a contender for dividends going up. Their net sales decreased 5% to 2.6 billion. I'm very curious. So I don't think Campbell's, based on this, unless you disagree with me. Tell me what you think, Brian. What do you think?
What was the question?
I don't know. You just got to tell me what you think. Tell everybody what you think.
I think they're going to be okay. It's going to take a little while for them to turn around, which we said even back when they bought Raos. I think right now, as they dip, I think it's the buy the dip kind of situation.
Could be. But is it better than the other ones?
There might be better ones, but if you're already in Campbell and you don't have anything better, it's not going to turn itself around. It's going to be a year or two turnaround. So don't expect immediate gains, but
Look at CAG here.
it's a beat down.
They lost 60% in 5 years.
Oh,
Talk about beatdown. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing the relative performance chart over the past 3 years. So if you've had Campbell's Soup for 10 years, you're up 215%. There's some food for thought. They make food. See what I did there?
for thought.
Yeah, I'm done. 2 years. Let's go to
You're
2
punny.
years. I'm very punny today. Boy, Ingredient and Keg and Calm, those three, they not have a good time. They're not doing so good. This could be normalization. I think I want to wait on these guys. I don't see. I'm thinking the same way, Matt. So I feel like Campbell's is on sale. The company doesn't feel like it's any danger of disappearing. No, they're not. In fact, if you go and you look at the statements here, and
Nor do I feel that they're in any danger of being bought out or taken over.
they're going to get bought up by Altria Group. You're going to have like tobacco flavored soup next.
Like I said, now with more nicotine.
Their chunky soup is very chewable after this. Would you eat that? I don't think I could eat that. That's gross. That's not. Oh man, what did I just do?
Campbell Soup now being sold in vape shots and cannabis shops near you.
You're gonna go to the gas station. You're gonna see like chunky Campbell's soup right next to a pack of cigarettes. No, thank you. No, I don't think. I hope they don't do that. Good lord. And hopefully, nobody from marketing is listening to us.
Inconvenient chewables.
Oh my
Start
goodness.
marketing that towards kids.
You know, they probably would. Any
Goldfish
business,
with
any
nicotine.
enterprising company. Have an unruly child that you just can't get a hold of? Try this new Campbell's soup nicotine flavored. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. No thanks. Their operating expenses are going down, but if you look at their revenue, they did talk about this income dropping the 27%. This is that number right there.
Yeah.
And this is even before the report. So yeah, I see it. I don't see that they're if you look at them annually though, this is where, Matt, I think you have a pretty good point. Total revenue, they went from roughly $5 billion to 10.2. That's from 2021 to 2025. So they're still growing. This is a company that, in the macro scope of things, that makes products people have to have. They're still growing. Their expenses, unfortunately, though, also went up by almost, I think it was 40%, something like that. Operating income is lower. So this is where we have a bigger problem with their repurposing themselves, going from $7 billion of operating expenses to $9. Then you go from $1.5 billion to 1.1. Those are that's the exact opposite directions you want to see them going in. So this is where I get a little bit skeptical. What's so funny? General Mills?
General Mills, yeah. They're having cereal problems.
Is it a serial problem or is it just a one-time event?
No, it's cereal. It's a cereal problem about their cereal.
And I need that canned laughter because I can press one of these buttons. I don't know how to do it. I have this Rodecaster. I have no idea how to use it.
You still haven't programmed that.
I have not touched it. It's like plug in the mic and hit the slider. Good enough.
Mr. IT genius can't figure out how to program the button.
It's not that. I just haven't spent the time. I don't have the time. I wish I did. Actually, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I like being busy.
You could be busy doing that.
We got to get paid. We're not getting paid to do this.
Pay us, people.
Alms for the poor, the stock poor. No, I don't know. I'm not seeing the signs that structurally they're there yet. But let's go back and let's look at the cost basis for us. This is for us. It doesn't have to be for you. I do think they're on sale.
And we are not your financial advisors. Please go get one.
Brian is.
I am not.
He wants to be.
I
6.
disclaimered that already. I'm exempt.
You are exempt.
You cannot sue me now.
They're still number 6. So if we compare that to some of the other ones, I don't know. For us, I think they'd be a little bit overweight. We could increase them by 2. And I would not. So here's the misleading part of this. They say they're paying a 7.4% dividend. When you look at how much money they actually have, I don't think they can afford that. Normally, you want to see a company pay 40% or less of their earnings, and they're paying 80%. So if they're dealing with a net revenue decline of, what do they say, 5% or flat, so immediately that 5% goes right into their how much they're able to pay on their dividends. So they're at 90% just from that.
Yeah, they're going to have to balance that out. Either lowering their dividend or figuring out how to increase their revenue.
Yeah, I think this is more of a 4.5. Because if you cut that from 7.4%, now if you hold the stock right now, you're still going to get the big dividend checks. You're still going to get them for a while. And I think this coincides with their strategy of just not raising their dividend. But I would say that if you go for basically 85% to 90% from the net sales, the payout ratio of their earnings, their coverage ratio should be a little bit decreased. It should still be above 100%. So you really have to be, if you expect that 7% to continue, you really have to expect that the revenue will recover after losing 5%. We just talked about tariffs and conflict and the price of gas and logistics. That's going to affect these guys too. So I think you're going to see some more bad news, at least for the next report, that's completely outside of their control. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to fix that. So I'm intentionally probably going to wait on these guys. I want to. I would expect, and if you're one of the people who wants to buy them, pretty solid play, but you're going to lose that 7% dividend pretty quick. I think it's more 4.5, 5%, because you want them
Well, if
below
you do that
50%.
with that in mind, you should be fine. If you're just expecting a 4.5, then 7.4 for as long as it lasts is just a bonus.
That's like AT&T. They kept paying what, like 8%, 9% for years. Like, why are they paying me this?
Yeah.
You can't afford this.
Just don't freak out if they lower it,
Yeah,
because it's expected.
remember, they're pulling it out of their operating revenue. So this is their profit sharing. So every time that money comes out of their bank account and goes into yours, you might like it, but the value of that company drops by that exact amount. You can even check it. You can see when they declare their X date, the accountants pull the money out, the stock drops, market cap exactly by that number. So you don't want to invest in a business like Campbell Soup just for the income. You want to invest in them because you think, hey, these guys produce the product and you want to share in the profit of that product, not just pull out of equity of the business. It's like these companies to say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay you 30% of all of our gross revenue. It's like, okay, what's left to grow your company? Like, I'm an investor. I don't want you to close down your warehouse and fire people. That's we complained about this with Intel. Intel
Right.
laid off what, 10,000 people? It's like, how do you do the same thing that you were doing with 10,000 less people? As a business, that isn't good.
You overwork the rest.
You replace them with AI.
There you go.
Eh,
Eh.
yeah.
And of course, what Campbell's down to their 5-year low. What was it?
I don't know, $20, 2080, I think it was.
I mean, was it their 5-year or
Let's see here. They are at their 5-year low right about now.
yeah?
Almost. It was $20.80 was their low. So they're
So close.
pretty much there. You have to really bet that they're going to turn this around to
Right.
buy them. I kind of want
And-
to.
Yeah, you think they will.
I don't know. What do you guys think? No, Intel does not need to pay a dividend yet. Intel needs to recover their financial balance sheet. Then I want them to pay a dividend. In
Right,
fact, the
afford
company I
it.
think you're going to see that's going to start paying a dividend is NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is running out of companies to buy. Eventually, if they got nowhere else to go, then you don't want to sit on the cash. You'll start seeing them increasing and paying their dividends. So if you're looking at a dividend aristocrat, unfortunately, dividend does reduce. Remember that market cap number. So they were at what, 4.1 trillion. Now they're down to 2.7. I think that's going to keep their cap's going to go down, but they're going to be probably one of those dividend aristocrats in 25 years. So if you have them, hang on to them. You'll get your capital back. It might take a while, but you'll get it back, and it'll pay you well. So we want to buy AT&T. What do you think, Brian? I don't know.
We should have bought them a while ago.
We did, but we didn't.
I mean, more of them.
Yeah, we should have. I wanted to diversify more, but
Yep.
yeah. Look at that. Psh, way
About
up
the
there.
time that we talked to the vice president there,
Oh, Brett. Yeah,
Brett.
maybe he
should
was
have bought
telling us
more
something.
then.
It's like, hey, I'm telling you something. Do it. No, they call
Yeah.
that insider trading. You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that. That's bad.
I'm still waiting for fiber at my house, AT&T. Not buying more until you get.
Even AT&T is getting hit by this. Look at that. They beat their earnings every single time. That is a very good marketing strategy.
hmm
Sell them the worst case scenario every time. That's not a bad strategy. I actually do
People
that.
will
in my own
eventually
company.
catch on to that. The analysts would eventually catch on. Oh, they're just doom and gloom.
I don't know. What was the guy, Iron Man? What's the actor's name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Watch that clip from the 90s when he goes visits the stock exchange. I think they got their attention spans are too short. They're too busy watching trend lines. Net income is down. I think this is it's quarterly.
Fourth
but
quarter.
Let's look at annually. I want to see if his strategy actually pans out. I think it does. Well, from negative 8 billion, yeah, it sure did. But if you
Yeah.
look at so 2021, this is AT&T that we're looking at. You go all the way back to
Restate.
2021, and you're at 20 billion. They are now at almost 22. So their strategy's working. What I'm most curious about, they had a lot of debt. I want to look at, oh, I'm in the wrong one. Hang on. Balance sheet. Let's take a look at their shares outstanding. Is it outstanding?
It's going down a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Not here.
No.
That's flat.
Treasury shares. Yeah.
Okay, well, if they're not doing that, what about, this is a giant company, so this isn't gonna happen overnight. Financing. Are they paying back debt? They sure are, I think.
Well, they said they were going to, right?
Well, that number doesn't encourage, but that's a lot less than, I mean, if you look at here. Okay. I believe them. I believe what they're doing. So they're not reducing their shares too much, but they are trying to pay back down their debt. Hopefully what they're not doing is they're not cycling out like low interest debt with high interest adjustable debt.
Well, look at they're buying back stock still.
They are. Yep, I saw, but it's not enough to offset some of the shares that they've been issuing. Not much anyways. See? I see what they're doing. It's not bad. They have a huge fiber network they have to build, so I would expect, again, if you wanted this to be a growth stock, this is not it. This is an income play, and this is a very long term. I'd say 3-4 years. If they can get back on the bus of getting that fiber built the way they want, they definitely will grow quite a bit. But they're not there yet, at least not in my opinion. I like their dividend though. What are their, so if they really have been doing this, they got a dividend yield of 4%. Okay, so they got it. They cut it. Yep, there it is. Look at that dividend yield back here in 2020. That's crazy.
$2.
It's 9%, man. I've had these guys for forever and ever, and they've treated me well. It's never been bad. I was a little sad when this happened, but it was justified, so it's okay. If we go, what are they at now? So here, this is a lot better number. If you were to look at the payout ratio and the coverage ratio of them back in this 2019, 2020, it did not look good. They did the Warner Brothers spinoff. This stuff looks much better. This is a much healthier number because they gives them money to reinvest in their business. If they don't have money to reinvest in their business, how are they going to grow their fiber business? They're not. So
Right.
you need money to do that. And this is where I tell people, again, if you're investing in stocks, you care about the health of the company and the mission that the company's on. And if you're a World War III doomsday guy, you're probably buying all defense contractors right now.
All right, moving on.
I like what I see. Campbell's is out. Do we want to talk about McDonald's? I'm curious. Did that actually affect the stock any? When was that CEO video of him spitting out the burger? Was that like a week ago?
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
I don't know if that's him spitting out the burger or if it's just like the whole market's been crashing.
Right.
I think it's maybe this was him right there. He stressed out all of his executives and marketing people. It's like, why'd you do that? No, I don't think that's it. Dividends. McDonald's is a very healthy dividend payer for a very, 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 very long time. But they are still pretty leveraged compared to some of the other stocks on our list. Now, in the food services industry, that's a pretty healthy number. But what I want to do, because I saw they got shut out of Russia and the tariffs are affecting them. I want to look at this real quick before we go to some of the other stocks. So let's go to income statement. Let's go to the operating income. Where did it hit them? All right, so this is quarterly. We're going from Q1 2025. Oh, good. They actually report at the right time. They're not like Campbell's where it's halfway through the year. This is quarter one, huh? No, so operating income, we're going to go from 2.9 or 2.86 to 3.1, but annually, I didn't touch them at all.
Nope.
That's where you see the price of your McWhopper go up. See what I did there?
I did.
It's Big Mac. It's not a Whopper. Okay. Okay. These guys aren't as depressed as the other ones, so I can't consider them for that reason, and only that reason. But check this out. They're healthy. 750 common shares outstanding, or 715 down to 711. That's pretty good.
That's why they're a dividend king, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they've earned that title for sure. And if you go over the annualized basis, they're 745 to 711. So this looks pretty good too. I don't. If you were going to buy these guys, I don't think you'd be in a bad way.
They're a good safe bet.
Unless the CEO keeps spitting out the burgers.
Ah,
What they need to do is do like this marketing thing where they play on that, where you get the whole board of directors and all the guys at McDonald's are all sitting down at a big table and they're like, "This food sucks." It's like, "Yeah, this food sucks. It makes my voice." And then this guy walks, is like, "What if we sell healthy food?" You're like, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea." It's like now McDonald's with healthy food. They could play on that, but I don't know. There's a lot of serious people in those positions. They don't like having humor. Most
No.
of them. Zero laughs given.
they would get probably sued if they use like Whoppers and they all did a spit thing for the Whopper when they're doing the taste test.
They should do the advertisement with Burger King and Wendy's and get them all in the same place.
Get them all three CEOs in the same, and Chick-fil-A, and
Just have them argue about their lettuce. Which one has the real lettuce? Will the real lettuce please stand up?
yeah. Well, they did. Like all the other CEOs did come out and like eat their own food after that, after the McDonald's snafu, like making fun of them.
Oh man, what a job.
Whirlpool.
Being in marketing, what a job.
I know, right?
Moving on to United Health Group. This is the next one on our list. These guys,
Whirlpool is in Benton Harbor, which is about an hour away from where we live and a staple of our economy here. But don't know about you, Tom. I'm done buying Whirlpool products.
they're circling the drain.
I've had problems with the last couple Whirlpools that I bought.
I've
And they're
heard-
supposedly up top of the line type Whirlpools, so
I've heard. You don't like Whirlpool, huh?
I always just used to buy Whirlpool, but it hasn't. I've had repairs. Like the LG stuff I haven't had repaired, but the Whirlpool stuff I had lots of annual maintenance and repairs.
Yeah, I heard they were having some struggles. They were on the struggle bus, especially when Sears dropped them, and then Sears dropped
Yep.
itself.
And then what Home Depot bought Craftsman, and yeah.
Yeah, my biggest problem with the whole Sears, Whirlpool, and all of that was they claimed the CEO of Sears, like, it's not showing me the dividends. Look at that. I got nothing. Come on, show me dividends. There we
It's
go.
a Whirlpool, Kenmore, Roper.
He was supposed to be this brilliant guy, and they found out he was cooking the books for like 16 years. And that was not a problem that was confined to just Sears. This hit all of them. And Whirlpool was one of those companies that got negatively affected by that because their products were being sold in a lot of these retail spaces. Now, where I would contend Whirlpool might have a chance is you'd have to go to a store, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, apparently Best Buy. I don't go to Best Buy, but apparently they sell appliances at Best Buy.
They do.
But like you go to those places and see how many Whirlpool products are being picked up there and see what the quality of those products are. Go to Consumer Reports, take a look at like where they rank in that before you even consider the stock, because they had, as Brian said, a lot of quality issues for a while. And I think they've gotten through a lot of it, but these numbers right here, that's not a company that can healthily pay a dividend. And they're right now, I think they're still trying to turn this around. But they're small. They were not that small. Like they were a big company
Mm-hmm.
a while back. Looking at them back even in 2021. Where are they trading at? They were at
$223
or 223.
200. Yeah.
Now they're down to 50. So you've lost 80% almost of your value. Here, how about I just look? 75% of your value right there, just from that. So this is where we get back to the make sure they make products that people want or have to have. If they have a quality issue, they don't have enough diversification to overcome that easily. This is kind of like Tesla. This is why we avoid Tesla stock. It's like if Elon Musk goes in Doge and he does something that really pisses a lot of people off, that affects his brand. It's a cool car, but that's it. Now, sure, they have SpaceX and they do the solar walls and they got other things that they do now.
The Boring Company.
But that's just starting that. This is the reason why we bought like Honda Motor Company over Ford, because Honda they make like leaf blowers.
Everything.
They make everything. So I would say that,
They're making a flying car, for God's sakes.
Their assets are going down, their liabilities are going down too, but I don't think you're going to see a lot of growth in the income statement, at least not yet. They might.
I think
turn
that
it
makes
around.
sense with a shrinking company.
Yeah, their total revenue's down by quite a bit. It's 25%. Operating expenses, thankfully, those are dropping about at the same clip, a little bit more than that. Well, they're showing a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Are they diluting? Do we have dilution? Share dilution? I have to go back to their tab for that.
Yeah, you gotta go to the other.
No, but they are issuing shares. So they could recover, Matt. I think I don't like the idea of high ticket items being the ones that I would count my dividend check on. Now, as a growth stock, maybe they could turn it around. They could get bought out too because they're tiny compared to what they used to be. But here's another telling story right here. This is annualized. I think this is annualized. Yeah. Look at their net change in cash. This is without looking at their earnings report or anything else. They could have good justification for this. But right now, if you look at this is all not so good. And you don't want to see a company hold on to too much cash, but you also don't want to see them go from $3 billion down to 670 when they were such a big company to begin with. So I think they still have some gray clouds in the sky. I would maybe as growth, but not for passive income. Not if you want a dividend growth story. Alternatively, I'll keep them up in case you got other questions, but alternatively, we're looking at United Health Group, which insures everybody. I have big problems with the insurance industry, just so to get that off my chest for everybody. I do not like the way insurance is run. I think it's a giant racketeering profit center. So why am I interested in buying an insurance company? Because if you buy shares that you can vote on, you can at least tell them stop doing this. You can be like Eddie Murphy in that where he switched bodies with that guy. I think that was that movie.
He didn't switch bodies. They fired the guy in Trading Places.
Yeah. Where he's like, we got paid, we got laid. So what if we make a few $1 million less? And they took him out for that. No, I think if you're going to get a dividend check, you're going to want to do it on a vast spread of profit. Now, that doesn't justify every single stock in our portfolio. It does, because we have stocks that don't pay any dividends. We got a couple of them, but there's other reasons. You can balance that out. You can balance out the ones that don't with the ones that do. I think a lot of people on YouTube are talking about Whirlpool as the turnaround of the century, but really look at what consumer sentiment is about the company and what the product reliability is. It's kind of like Activision Blizzard before they got bought out by I think Microsoft or something.
Microsoft.
They bought them out.
Yeah.
They were constantly producing blockbuster products. The moment they produced one that ended up like City Skylines 2 at release, immediately right down the toilet. Like, that's not good. Now Skylines 2 has gotten better, but that's after the damage was done.
I think that's what a lot of game creators are doing these days, like the big game creators, or they're hurrying up to get a product out to market and then fixing it later because they all are buggy these days.
That's got a lot to do with investor greed, I think, pushing
Right.
the CEO to push all the workers and shove a pot roast through somebody's nose like it doesn't hurt. EA
Give
Games
me
had that problem for a long time.
Give me a polished product out of the gate. Like
Blizzard
Baldur's
actually-
Gate 3 was terrible.
Blizzard
It was
actually has that
unplayable.
problem right now. Their patch cadence and stuff. I guess there's a lot of people angry. I don't really play anymore, but
You know, Microsoft bought Minecraft and they destroyed the game for a couple months when they tried to change it.
subscription model bricks. What was that? There's this video. It's an advertisement for like a political thing over in Europe. Shitification. Go watch that one. That's it's unfortunately very true.
Yeah,
I
did watch it. You put it in Teams.
I did. I think everybody else should watch it. So it's a good commercial. I got to admit. Make it worse. At the end of the video, he's like, "Brakes are now a paid-for feature. Insert your credit card." He's just smiling, like, "Yeah, that's how that goes." Talking about boomers and demographics, insurance is one of those places that's definitely, in one way, they're going to benefit a lot because a lot of these boomers are on Medicaid. In another way, they're going to pay out a lot. So that's a big risk to these guys long term. Pfizer,
Right.
I think, recovered, if we're talking about on the medical side of it. And their earnings dropped a little bit. So I'm not sure that they are going to be as good of a play. Let's go back 3 months from Pfizer. Matt says, I don't think they can hold their own in the high-end appliances compared to other brands. The stock looked like it was in sale to me. Yeah, it's on sale.
Yeah.
It's the kind of sale when you go to like the department store and you see a bunch of stickers there and you pull off the sticker where like the sale price is actually higher than the retail price. I
Or
used
it's
to do
exactly
that.
the same.
I used to do that when I worked at JCPenney. I was like, why are we doing this? And I remember when I worked there, this is back when I was in high school, these ladies would come in and they'd be like, oh, it's so cute. And, oh, he would look great in this. And, we'd put something on sale. And they'd come back like, oh, this is on sale. We should get it. And they would buy it. The pants were like $43 before, for the sale price, and then like the regular retail price was $30, and they would buy it. It's like, what? Were you even here 2 weeks ago? It's marketing, but
Right.
no, that's what Whirlpool's like to me right now. I don't think they're on sale yet. I think that's fake. Let's see some good products, and then we'll probably buy them. But unfortunately, with a stock like that, that'll blow up before that. So you got to watch them real close to catch that. Which is why we're buying Rumble. We're buying Rumble stock because we believe that they will have an upside very soon.
And they're down. What are they down to? They under
2
5
cents. I'm going to buy 10,000 shares.
when it goes down to penny stocks. I think yeah, they drop with the stock market.
Yeah, that's the index fund people selling off
516.
stuff.
Yeah, Rumble's down to 516 a share.
I think we should add to that one today.
Yeah.
Pfizer, I think, is not the play today. I think they're pretty high up in our portfolio. United Health still looks good to me.
It does.
Not doing Whirlpool. XYL is tempting.
I'm still kind of excited about XYL.
Solving the water problems in India.
It gets my juices flowing.
I don't know what makes if this makes your juices flowing, Brian. I'm happy for you. You do you, Brian. In case you're wondering what XYL is, they were we talked about them last week. We had a whole bunch of them
Xylem.
pulled up there, and this is what This is the one that came out on top, and this is all still, I'm just reminding myself of all those fancy little numbers. So the question then, do we bleed ourselves into XYL or do we add more to United Health? Water is definitely a problem. I would contend that insurance, macroeconomically, is going to have some struggles with boomers getting older. There's going to be a lot of claims. I hope they don't reject all these claims. It's kind of like Social Security. You pay into it for your whole life, and all of a sudden, hey, you don't get paid now.
It went bankrupt. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. That makes me feel wonderful. That's a demographic issue more than a person issue.
You're the last generation to not get it.
And nobody saw what I did there. It's a demographic issue, not a person. It's the demographics are the people. I give up.
I'm sorry, were you talking?
Without making Fight Club jokes, AI still am looking at MFC. Midget Fight Club.
Stop.
MFC.
He said without making any Fight Club jokes. Without. You couldn't help yourself.
No, I couldn't. Look at it. It's Manulife Finland Corp. Ooh. There already is a Midget Fight Club. Sorry, Matt. They're in Finland.
Well, he's looking at
Sweden
MFC.
where they get paid. I'm still looking at MSC. Wrong one. Let's go back to XYL. I think what we need to do is we need to see what the PR department is doing with UNH, United Health. Go dig into that real quick on their earnings presentation. We should do the same thing with the XYL guys. XYL is, so the problem I have with this one, they do have a presence in the United States, but anytime you have a business that does, like, if they're overseas, take a look at McDonald's in Russia or McDonald's in China. It's the same company, but it's not. There's a different ticker symbol, and there's heavy regulations there. It's like a month of somebody's paycheck in Russia to buy a Big Mac or something like that. So what I would be concerned about with XYL is if they go to solve some of the problems in India as a sovereign entity is just to be like, oh, okay, build one plant. They watch them build the plant. They do an inspection, and then they go build their own. One that doesn't go back, bring the money back to the United States. So I'd be a little bit concerned about that.
Or not even the inspection. They just send their people to go work there. Then over the process of working there, they learn how to do everything. Then they leave and start their own.
And if you don't think that stuff happens, you do not know how China operates.
Yeah. And we have laws here to prevent that, right? But
sort of.
not China.
Yeah, I'd contend sort of. United Health, I would be concerned about demographics, the aging population. So let's go look at them. Let's go see what we can find. This is the Campbell Soup one. I should probably put this up there. It's for Campbell Soup people. There's your Campbell Soup report. We are not looking at that one. We're going to look at this one. UNH Investor Relations. United Health. Ooh, latest reports. 2026 outlook. So we did look at the one last year. I think I want to look at, I want their presentation. I want their earnings release.
Q4.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be what we want. Let's just see. Oh, it's all tiny text. You know what I'm impressed by? Do you think Chuck Norris actually wore, like, contacts? Did he have perfect vision all the way till the day he died?
Well, he wore glasses, I think.
Did
I've
he?
seen him with glasses, yeah, for reading. Well, he might have had contacts. I don't know.
I got a kick out of all the videos he was doing the past few months where he's like benching 5,000 pounds. He's like, it's just a warm up. It's all fake weights, but still. Love that guy.
You got a kick out of it?
I did. He got a kick out of it. Oh, no. That's a good
The
one.
unintentional pun.
Cyber attack costs. Oh, $800 million. That's what they got hit. This is what happens when you don't treat your IT people as if they're trying to help your company.
Yeah.
Said no IT guy ever.
How many IT guys got fired over that, I wonder?
And how many that shouldn't have been fired that got fired that were sick crying wolf the whole time saying, hey,
I've been telling you for 5 years, you need to fix your firewalls.
there's a hamster on the wheel. The wheel is on fire and the hamster is about to die because its hair is burning off. Please help me. What? Just get into
I'm
the
sorry.
hamster.
We can't divert money to that. It's still working.
IT is such a stressful field. Like nobody understands what you do until something happens. Then they're
Yep.
all like, "Oh, those IT guys, nothing ever works." And you're like, "Okay, well, there's $300 million of equipment here, and if I do one thing wrong, it all shuts down, like instantly. You can't do payroll, you can't run checks, you can't." I'm going to stop complaining, but it's like, yeah, there's a reason why we work late almost every week. But, anyways, financial performance. UNH.
Yeah, Matt, I didn't think Chuck Norris would ever die. I thought when death came for him, he just roundhouse kick him back to hell. Chuck Norris only dies when he wants to.
I'm pretty sure Jesus is showing him how to do a proper roundhouse kick right now. No, you got to bend the leg like this, or a flying
That's-
kick. The one the movie where he flies through. It's like,
That's not a proper Chuck Norris joke. That's
No.
a Christianized version of it.
that's a real thing that's happening right now in heaven. Jesus is flying through, probably with like a flowing robe and a cape behind him, and he's like, and Chuck's like, "What? That's my kick. That's my kick."
No, more it's like Jesus does it, then Chuck's like, you know what? That's good. That's it's
But let me show
decent.
you how it's done.
You do it this way though.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Got to put more snap into it.
And a little bit more 90s movie pizzazz, where it's totally unrealistic. I am seeing a bad thing here. Look at that.
Earnings from operations is down
That would be their, not just their cyber attack.
41%.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was only $1 billion.
Only. Elon Musk, that's pocket change for him. It actually is. It's like
But what they say
1%.
they lost from it, like 5 billion, I think, 5 or
Yeah.
6 billion.
Yeah.
That's still even more than that.
Yeah, he died today, I think, Matt, in case you're
Yeah.
wondering when. I think it was this morning.
I think it said he died actually last night
Oh, was it? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
read.
and announced it this morning.
Earnings from operations. This is why I believe they could be a value mismatch. There's a lot of regulation, despite my qualms with the insurance industry. I do have qualms. There's a lot of regulation around it, and there's only a certain amount of businesses that can actually accommodate that, and at least be able to do that and report on all of that and provide the coverage as needed. UNH is one of those that has got a huge amount of infrastructure in place to do that. Look at their earnings from operations. Oh,
I think they bounce back.
Yeah, that's December 31st, 2025, and then you go to, yeah, they're hurting for sure. That's
Keep in
Optum
mind
Health.
they had a year of pain, right? With their CEO being murdered and the cyber attack and all sorts of other things that happened to them.
Yeah, they got triple whammied. Optum is not doing well. I had an Optum account some time ago.
I still have one because I cycle my prescriptions through different pharmacies.
All right, well, that's now that we see all that, let me just double check, make sure there's nothing here that surprises me.
Question is, do you think the stock's going to continue to drop? And if so, how long do we wait?
Good question. I think
You Need that crystal ball.
If they're going to drop, I think this has got more to do with the overall market and their replacement of the CEO, how they navigate that, than it will to do with the underlying company. Optum Health is definitely struggling. Demographically, if you're losing population, just like we talked about earlier, these guys are going to struggle with that too. Like, something that people don't account for is that in order for capitalist society to work well, it's not that it's not going to work if you don't have growth of people, but you need population growth. You need more customers. Without more customers, you ain't growing. What's up with this? Hey, go over here. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Well, you don't necessarily need to always grow at that point then.
Said no CEO ever. I have never heard that in a board meeting.
No, they
We
always
don't
want
need to
more
grow.
money.
We're good.
That's why the whole globalization thing happened. They wanted more money. They're missing out on 7 billion people, possible customers.
So here's their assets. A net earnings. That's what I wanted. All right, so 12.8. Okay. Let's see if they're financing too, real quick, since I'm here. Yeah, okay. All right, 12.8. Let's go here. Let's go to UNH. Let's go look at them. 12.8. Don't forget it. Don't be dyslexic and say 8.12. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, they are a value mismatch. The thing is, if you look at their price to earnings ratio, I think it's really low. Like really, really low. And I don't know where it is in Schwab. I know where it is in E-Trade or Morgan Stanley. Let's go find it. Share short. No, that's short interest. Share profile. It's a fundamental number. Dividend payments. Earnings. PE.
Stop.
There we go. Price to earnings growth. PE ratio trailing 12 months. I think that's pretty low for them. UNH historical PE ratio going back 10 years. Come on, AI, give me the numbers. They actually have a chart right here. Let's go look at that. Sorry, AI, you
Macro
lost.
trends.
There we go. Yeah, 20. So 21. Yeah, look at that. This is, you can see they bled pretty hard right here. Not a good quarter. Those are not good quarters. But look where they were before. 31, 36, 32, 28. The last time they hit it, oh, these are all quarterly. I wish they would do just annually.
2023.
Yeah. But the market too, you got to remember too, this is going to go down in correlation to what the market was doing back then. That's 7 years ago. So I get why AI says these guys are a value mismatch. Do we think, though, they're better than XYL is the question. What do you think? Let's go look. That's United Health. Okay, close that one out. I'm going to keep that one up. We're going to close Campbell Soup. Don't need to look at that. Let's go look at XYL earnings. Fourth quarter and full year 2025 results, XYL. Hey, look, they have organic growth from a water company. Did you know NASA did a big study about 2 years ago, and they came out a report with last year, where they discovered that there is an ocean underneath the ocean?
Yeah.
And it's like bigger than the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. So there is water. We just don't know how to get to it.
Water is
Because
organic as well.
Organic water.
I'm surprised they don't market that.
It's like, these are organic chickens. Really? If it's lab grown meat, I can see it. But if it's just a chicken, like, how do you not be organic?
It's lab grown water.
It's like the Incredibles movie. You ask me to uncrush. How do you uncrush? How do you unpunch? So here already, what I'm seeing with these guys is look at the revenue from products. Where United Health might have a problem with demographics, we have a huge problem with water shortages across the globe. It's not just in India. Like Germany's got a big problem where they've got wells drying up. This is a company that could help that. So yeah, people need health insurance. We need to fix that, but that's highly, I mean, with demographics decreasing everywhere, China, especially Russia right now, and just millennial kids not having kids. I say millennial kids, millennial people not having kids. These guys are much more positioned to benefit and help, I think. I think insurance is going to take a while to sort itself out.
And
Does
yes,
that-
Matt, that is a flood of growth.
All right.
We're trending
what
in the right way in all these.
Yeah, everything I see here looks good.
Liabilities went up a little.
Net income 2023 from 600 million. Wow, that's almost 40%. It's like 35, 36%. And in case you're wondering, that's not the right number. No, I'm doing this stuff in my head as I'm talking about like apparently dad jokes. So give me some grace. Or don't give me any. Troll me in comments. It's more engagement. Yeah, YouTube, like and
Operating.
subscribe.
Operating activities, cash.
These guys look a lot better. All right, let's go look at, I've seen enough there. Go here. And let's go see how that compares to the past. Buy their stock and let it drip. That's a good one.
We don't do that, Matt.
Not unless we're in a retirement community. Then it's competition. Where am I going? Okay, I'm going to go here first. I don't like seeing this, but given the growth numbers, that's fine. And they're going to be like AT&T. They're going to have a huge amount of infrastructure that they have to commend and pay for. So that's
Well, you
an
also
amazing
have
number.
to sell some stocks, you know?
No, share buybacks. Do what Berkshire Hathaway does.
Buy them all back.
Buy them all
Go
back
private.
with one share. It's
One lucky person can buy one share,
You can fractional
Not-
ownership of one share.
non-controlling stock.
Look at that. Net income is more than doubled. I like these guys. I think this is the one I want.
Ooh, 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 the one I need. Oh, yes, indeed.
The one time we go viral, it's Brian singing. Or some
Grease.
stupid AI
A
version
Grease
of-
song.
Grease. It'll be some stupid version of me doing Pokemon Go. County,
You're the
I
one I
choose
want.
you. And then my hand like gets cut off.
Hey, I did that.
That was actually pretty good.
If I had more time, did more prompting, I could probably get it more polished, but it wasn't worth my time.
Total
It was
cash
good
from
the way it was.
operations. Here we go. Doubled.
Wow. Look at it go up.
And what are they doing with that money?
Investing.
Oh, probably. We have to go look at that a little bit more.
So what they're doing with that money is they're buying water from Nestle and dumping it into the reservoirs. Say, look, we got water, clean water.
If you dump it into here in Michigan and Lake Michigan, it turns from a green to a nice little brown color every year, so nobody would know. Lake turns over, it's back to beautiful blue and green. Just don't dive down too deep. Can you imagine if
They
they
found-
didn't Reverse Chicago.
They found holes, like mysterious holes in the bottom of Lake Michigan.
That's where Jimmy Hoffa is.
You and Jimmy Hoffa, what's up with you?
I don't know. I got to come up with one joke every week. I don't
And
have
just
many.
reuse it over and over and over.
Last week it was
Beating that
midget
dead,
fighting.
that horse dead.
That'll be my next joke. Don't tell it already. It's next week's joke. So
Beating
they're-
that Teamster dead and then burying him in concrete in one of the
Hey,
buildings
Jim
in
Carrey
Detroit.
used that joke. I can use that joke.
You can't. It's Jim Carrey's joke.
No, it isn't. It was the script
Don't
writers'
steal it.
jokes that they went on strike for. They don't get any credit, remember? The writers' unions. Net cash. So these guys are flush with cash. They're not financing too much of it. Their operating income is more than doubled. They're solving a problem in the world that the world needs, and they're positioned well to do that in countries that need it most. I like what I see. I think this is the
Operating
one.
expense went up.
Is it before 4:30? It is. We can actually buy it today. I'm going to do that. I don't think they pay much of a dividend, though, do they? Let's see what they pay.
1.7%, was it?
Yeah, this isn't. This is going to offset some of the higher dividend-paying stocks we have with growth. Where are we going?
You're giving me epilepsy, man, with all this scrolling around. There, stop. 1.43%.
Oh, that's not normal for you? Oh, okay. 4 point. Yeah. Okay. This is. These guys going to be fine.
That's growth. Look at that growth.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back here. Click fast. Click fast browse. YouTube has very short attention spans. Go through all nerdy numbers very quickly. Xylem Inc. They need neon with that name. That's a cool, like, Gothic City neon text name. That's what that is. Where they got all their stuff. So this is their,
Xylem. Isn't that part of a plant?
I think xylophone. Or the fungus.
Fungi.
It's probably not a good idea to say that for a water company. we have the best fungus here. So they have water infrastructure 2.67, applied water 1.9.
All right, you like dad jokes. Here's my dad joke.
All right.
I just made it up.
You did not
How
search
is
for it?
How is Tom like a mushroom? Give up.
How am I like a mushroom?
Yep.
I have a really good prostate.
Nope. They're both fun guy.
Oh, I am a fun guy.
They're both
I
fun
am.
guys. Yeah.
They are. This is a growing company. See, I have to treat your jokes the way people treat my jokes, like they don't exist.
This company, much like your prostate, is growing.
Ouch! I thought you just said I was a fun guy. Hey man, I have kids. Don't pick on me. No, I like.
I don't
these
think your
guys.
prostate has anything to do with your kids.
Kind of does.
It's your pee-pee.
Yeah, you can't say that on YouTube. You're gonna get us banned. We're already banned in like 16 countries. They're all North Korea, but hey, we're banned.
There's 16 countries in North Korea.
Provinces. I don't know.
Nice.
All right, so
Okay.
we're gonna do XYL, and do we want to throw some Rumble in there?
We always want to do Rumble. Come on.
How many dividends did we get last month? Let me go look here. Let's transaction history, because I can't spend money that's actual principal money on this. Let's go all the way to the 20th. That's when we did that. So let's total up some numbers here. I'm gonna round this up. Qualified dividends. So we got $112. I'm gonna say $145. Ooh.
$245.
240. Give him 240. Nope. We'll do.
I was going to take it from the next one.
270. 310.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
330.
330. 350.
353.
Yeah. So 383. We got $400 of dividend checks.
390.
We can buy $400 of Rumble.
Say 420. 420.
No, it's 304.
Nah, I know. I just want 420.
I have never done that stuff. I will never do that stuff. Let's see. Rumble. I can buy $400. So in case you're wondering what stocks we buy, oh my
We're doing
goodness,
it today.
we're doing it live. Yeah, we're doing it right now. This is how you grow your passive income by buying companies that don't pay dividends. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I want to spend $400, $5 a share. Should get about like 80 shares. Yeah,
77.
okay. I'm gonna do what's that number there? We got 398. We got more than
398.
I'm gonna do 402.
That's what we said.
Yep. Market, don't care about the day traders.
That's already done. They anticipated the order and already bought it before you pressed OK.
And they made
See?
their Office Space penny off of it. That's ridiculous. It's where you get the tradeideas.com or whatever, where you get that bot that does it for you. All right, let's go and look at XYL. Actually, we don't have that one on our list. That moves us
We
up
do
to
not.
what? How many do we have? Positions. Oh,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know,
tell me.
20?
About 20? 19, 20? Okay. We're pushing the limits. This is our second utility, so. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
two
check to
water
s-
companies.
Yeah, I didn't check to see how many. $2,000. Okay. Buy $2,000. Should be about 18 shares, something like that. 16. Oh, because it's 120. My math
Where's
is
the estimated amount?
right
What are we
there.
missing? Oh, you got the order type. You guys click the order type. There we
Can I
go.
do 17? I don't know if it's going to let me. I'll do 16.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
I'll try it. It's probably say, you don't have enough money. You're poor. We're going to try it. Any questions then? Anybody else before we go? Because we're buying our stock. We're doing it. We did it. Oh, that we did have enough. It's already filled. That's amazing. Today is probably a down day. When the stocks are dropping and you put in an order, instantly filled. If you're trying to sell a stock, it'll just sit there. Like it will not sell.
And we're only doing 17. It's not like we're buying 17,000 shares, It's not.
Yeah. Those some of the when I sold Intel stock, it sold like 70,000 in December. It took 3 days to fill, and
Yep.
it bled into the fourth day with like 1 or 2 shares left. Like, who decided to buy everything but 1 or 2 shares? Seriously? Okay, so let's go look at our income now. Now that we have that, we were at 336. We're at 339. Almost to 350.
Yeah.
What can we get for 339 a month? What can you do for that?
I get a Corolla.
We'll go to check out Toyotas.
Toyota Corolla.
Don't lease a car, people, unless you're a sales guy.
Might be able to get a Civic already.
A RAV4, I guess that one had pretty good reviews. What do you guys want me to check out?
The Corolla Cross, 25,000. That's
Yeah.
probably what we can get.
I'm gonna go from a Porsche Cayenne GTS and a BMW M3 40i
So
to
you
a
could pay for this one
Corolla.
with your dividends, right?
to Toyota Corolla.
I think you got to do build. I don't think it's gonna.
I do like the Corolla. There you go, $249 a month.
we
I got
go.
$100 left over. That'll at least
Look
buy
at
me a
that.
gallon of gas. That's a lease. Is that a lease?
36-month lease. Yeah.
All right, let's do a build now. I'm going to build one, and I'm not going to care about any of this stuff. I'll just do. Let's do the expensive
Ooh, the
one.
hybrid. Yeah.
Hybrid XSE. Let's see if our dividend checks buys us one of these.
Who cares about the color?
I care. It's aesthetics, Brian.
Ooh.
Look at that massive 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah. All-wheel drive. It's hybrid. Inch built.
I think my BMW has more horsepower in one wheel than this whole car produces. But if gas goes up to $10 a gallon, I'm going to be crying, and anybody who owns a Toyota is going to be like, sucker.
Do the payment estimator at top.
Payment estimate right here,
No, at top.
up top.
Right there. At the top. Top of the screen.
I clicked
right
the
there.
button. All right, I clicked the button. Oh, we can't afford
Oh.
this.
Finance. That's lease.
That's too much.
Oh,
You're killing me, Brian. That's 72 months too. So we can't buy that one yet.
cannot buy that one. We
All right,
can
let's-
only you gotta go to the bottom, I think.
What are you saying exactly?
You don't have that much money.
All right, start a new build. What are we gonna buy? We
Okay.
can't buy the super expensive one, so let's go to the XLE for
Really?
luxury. Yeah. So
I don't think we could buy that one either.
really.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll buy the Hybrid S. It's a sport.
Okay, let's do that.
Wait, that's only like $600
That's a
cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the luxury one. I'm old and frail and don't like anything that's fun. So
Fine.
let's click on this. Look, it spins around. Powertrain, yes. Finish build.
Sure.
Okay.
Payment estimator.
Payment estimator.
It's right below view
Oh.
inventory.
We can lease it.
Oh, what about finance?
Oh,
No.
wait. No, we can almost do. I think I have to go all the way back down.
I told you we had to go to the bottom.
Everybody tells me. Get back down to your hole, Tom. No, let's go. Cancel. Start a new build. All right, fine. We'll go to the bottom. We'll buy the L,
Loser.
the loser edition. That is not a Toyota strategy. Payment estimator. These are brand new, by the way. Don't buy a brand new car. That's ridiculous. Unless you've got money to burn.
Finance. 402.
So to do that, I would have to. Wait. I'd have to have $5,000. I'm pretty sure my Porsche will sell for that.
I'm sure. We could buy the car outright for what your Porsche will sell for.
Probably. But so you could almost buy a new Toyota. Almost. We're almost there.
Yep. And just have the dividends pay for it each month, and you basically got a free car.
Hmm. What about a Corolla?
I think you could get that Civic though.
Honda Civic? You want to go check out a
Yeah.
Honda Civic before we go? Yeah, we're
That baseline Civic.
Honda Civic. I'm not going to go look at used ones. I'm gonna be stupid and buy a new one. Honda Civic. There we go.
There you go.
The fin that does absolutely nothing. Because the cars don't go that fast. The Civic sedan.
Yep.
The Civic hybrid. I know we can't afford that because that's too much. Let's look at the regular
No.
sedan.
You got to
Okay.
do that first one.
I have heard that the automotive market is absolutely on fire right now. The sales for used cars, they're just not happening. So you're probably
Build
going to
the
get some
LX.
pretty good price. Probably going to get a good price soon. You have one choice. Same 2-liter engine. It's not like Chrysler where you got 6,000 choices. Summary?
Wheels too. You only get 2 wheels.
It's like a Chevy Cobalt, one-wheel drive. Yeah, but
I
you're
don't-
not telling me
I don't want to quote. Give me a
the price.
search inventory.
Search inventory. Okay, fine.
Oh, you told them where
We're in West Michigan, people. Oh no.
your zip code is.
Oh no. That's actually not my zip code.
Sarah Honda, that's
Um,
next to me.
Will they tell us what payment it is? I'm trying to buy something with my dividend checks. Just let me spend money.
Where's
Actually,
my payment calculator?
I'm actually
I don't wanna
not
get
going to buy a
quote.
Honda with this, just so you know. I don't shop for cars at dealers. No, they're not going to let us do this, I think. Oh, apply for
Ah.
financing. There we go. Lease, $222 a month. Finance for 48 months. Okay. You can lease it. You can't buy it unless you do more months. I can't imagine paying for a car for that many years. Holy cow. That's crazy. Do
I bought my
not
daughter
do
a
that.
Civic.
You did. You drove it here one day. 5% per year. Yeah, don't do that. Do the Mel Trotter thing. Work your way up. Don't just pay cash for a car like that. So we can probably do it if we had a
I
long
did pay
payment,
cash.
and we could do a lease. So I guess what we're trying to say here is if you had no other income, you could reliably lease a Toyota or a Honda and have transportation for the rest of your life with the portfolio that we built up over the course of 3.5 years,
Yep.
even in a market crash.
You couldn't eat or any of that, but you could drive.
You'd have a car.
Couldn't pay for
Probably.
gas.
You'd have enough to pay for gas. I think that lease is what,
Yeah.
$200? You got $100 for gas.
There you go.
I should go a ways in your Civic. That doesn't even fill up my Porsche.
I don't-
It doesn't. It's like $100 now to fill up the Porsche.
That would fill up the Civic like 3 or 4 times.
That's the benefit of having a small car like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we bought a stock, so that means next month we have to figure out something else to buy.
Mind Over Matt says, hi, check out the Hilux. Do I say,
Hilux.
Matt, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my mom.
Toyota Hilux. Oh, it's a pickup truck.
1995. Hilux.
Yeah, you could get a used car for that, no problem. You don't have to buy a new one. I think so. What do we got? We have Intel, Pfizer, Kimberly Clark, Devon, UPS. I got to sort this by. Yeah, okay, I did. We only have one telecom utility, and AT&T doesn't have that much in it. We have options. I still want to look at the automotive market, and then after that, we're gonna have to probably pair a stock. We'll have to probably reduce something a little bit, but
Yeah, I'll have to sell something
yeah, maybe. I
in
sold
order to
Intel at a
get
good
something
time.
different, right?
It's back to where it was when I sold it in December, almost. I think it is. Let me go back and look. This isn't my only portfolio, in case people wonder. Yeah, not quite.
That gives us 24 stocks
24 stocks. Okay.
in total.
25 is my limit. It's not a hard limit. It's just you can't easily track when the more companies you get, the more you become like an index fund. So what's the point? Okay. I think that's it. So next week we will probably jump back into the automotive market, see what we can find. Maybe the banking market, which I've heard that's been collapsing too. Banking and insurance has been getting hit pretty hard lately.
That they have.
And we will be paying attention to the oil sector, ExxonMobil, which is still, man, one of their facilities got hit, but they're still like, nobody cares.
It was a minor facility.
They've got ties to it. I don't think they're like directly own it, but look at that.
They are at a high.
50% jump. Psh. That is ridiculous. All because of the Iranian conflict. That is amazing. These guys might be I might be considering bailing on them soon. No offense, Exxon, but that has got nothing to do with your earnings. That's got everything to do with the margin based on the price of a barrel of oil. Constraints, production constraints.
Yeah. Wait till they drop and then get back into them.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one too. But I think next week we'll start, unless something changes. If you guys got stuff you want, send us messages. We'll take a look at that stuff too. But I think we're going to try to jump back into banking and try to get like an automotive stock in there somewhere, because we don't have any of those. At least not anymore. We did, but we sold them. We made some money. So
You didn't
that's
look at
it.
CWT.
I did not. We will have to look at them next week. I'm sorry.
For Babe Ruth.
Yeah, let me go pull them up. Make sure they're still on my little list here.
At the end somewhere, weren't they? Oh.
Yep, they're right here.
CWT, yep.
Yep.
They're water. California water.
Yeah, we'll look at them
They
next
do
week.
Hawaii and anyway.
Okay, that's all I got. Thank you everybody for watching, and
Absolutely. And
yeah,
if
we-
you found this entertaining or informative at all, feel free to subscribe, like, do all those things because we need you. We need you more than you need us.
don't sound desperate or anything. Selfie
You're
stock.
still SoFi. It's always SoFi.
There you go. All right, we got that on our list. We'll take a look at them next week. So,
There you go. All right.
all right. Thanks everybody. See you next week. Till then, happy investing. Bye bye.